everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you've been well. This week has been a little bit of a doozy, but it's been
Cat
all a
sat on
good.
keyboard, just
Already
redeemed
redeemed. Oh,
hydrate.
I see. And hi, Cat sat on keyboard. Welcome into stream as well. Welcome in. Okay, let me get my water, and then we'll do a roll call. Water has been digested. Thank you for that redeem. Okie dokie, let's see. On a YouTube side of things, we have Wackages. Welcome into stream. Welcome. And then on Twitch's side of things, we have, if I scroll up just a little bit more, I think we're good. We have Smile and Nod. We have Alex. Now, is it Doodoo or Dodo? I'm gonna assume maybe it's Dodo, possibly. And then we also have here, let's see. That's a Bobby there. It's the cats on keyboard. We have a and then let's see. We also have Check and I think I said Banoffee already, but the emote and just gonna lurk A-okay. We also have Rodrigo, Sorcerer, and Levelium, possibly. Welcome in. And someone making a Mavis Beacon rhythm game. I have never heard of a Mavis Beacon rhythm game. That's an interesting one. Could you describe it a little bit more? And it's Friday already. Isn't it wild? My week felt like it went by really fast. I feel like it's more of a Wednesday than a Friday. Yeah, it's surprising dead. Hold on, I'm quite curious now. I'm just give me a second. Mavis Bacon Rhy Game is a typing teacher. Oh, I do remember seeing about that typing class. I used to take typing classes, but we never played any of those classic games. And a well-known IP branding for typing? Yeah. Back when I was a kid. I've seen it before, but I never played it in the dinosaur age. Well, I'll have you know, I was around for like the blocky computers and the what was it called? The thing that's like Blockbusters, and the thing that is like a box and then you insert it and you had typing classes? Yeah. A lot of them now, granted. I was never the best typer in my class. I was like top 5, maybe, if I had to guess. I was up there, but not of like 20 students. I was beat in some cases, and rest in peace, computer classes. I miss them so much. And now was it like cool math games playing that, or like Girls Go games, all of those. I think they shut down recently. Well, not recently, but when Flash shut down, I think some of those websites ended up shutting down. And let's see, back in my day. And it's Friday 13th. Happy and lucky Friday 13th. Happy indeedy. Funny enough that we'll be playing, or we'll be programming a what is it called? Our main character's a necromancer, so it fits the theme today. We can maybe give her a black cat, though her familiar is a spider. And I learned, did you mean Moses? Moses as in from the game, or what exactly do you mean, Shaq? From the game. I've never played the game before, but I have seen it. And I've seen it briefly. I know about it at the very least, but never touched it. And thank you to gotta say Dodo. Thank you for the follow, and welcome into stream. Welcome in. Spider cat. Don't tempt me. That. Oh, from the Bible. I see it. I don't know anything about that. I just remember, I didn't even remember the spider cat. The spider cat sounds like a neat hybrid. If her familiar's not a spider on her head, like a black spider cat, I could see it. That could be cute. And I learned the program in BASIC with my index fingers before ever learning to type properly. Interesting. I remember having to not forcefully, but hey, when you would do the typing classes, they would recommend which hands to place in the keys, and I remember going from looking down at the keyboard to looking straight to being able to zoom. Those were a lot of fun. And BASIC is fun. I'm playing around with it in an emulator. I see. Hold on. Let me Google that. Program, Program BASIC. BASIC. Beginner's all-purpose symbolic instructional code. Oh, I have heard of this before. I see. It reminds me of Lua. Well then, that timer is up, so why don't we go ahead and get into things for the day. Let me go ahead and move this guy here, and then move this guy here. That should be good. And hi, Agape! Welcome into stream! Welcome in! Let's see. Let me make sure this guy's good to go. That guy should be good to go. We should be A-okay. Yeah. And if you want the ritual feel with a better language, try Tick 80. I have heard of that one too. Never looked into it, but it does ring a bell. Let's see here. We can go into the... well, you see, am I not here, or are you not here? Hold on. That there, okay, and then, are you here now? Let me just, see, okay, there you are. And then I need to appear, don't I? Hold on. There we are. Hi. Come here often. I don't even know what I was on the screen. With that said, here are our plans for the day. And is the stream in the room with us? Yeah, just took a second. And they only told us this is Moses, this is keyboard, this is computer. I don't know that one. Picked up basics because of Commodore, pet, Apple. Interesting. Though some of those I recognize, some of them not. But it definitely sounds like the old school type of programming. With that said, today should be a lot of fun. We'll be continuing where we left off with doing the UI of the game. I did not get to do the UI this week during the week after stream. However, I was doing things in the game, just not the UI. I was updating the debug menus, and I'll be able to show that off a little bit. It's not done yet, but I can at least show you that I was working on the game, just not specifically the UIs. With that said, though, you all get nice and comfy, stay where you are, and why don't we go ahead and get into the pitch? Yeah? Let's see here. The building only has stairs. What do you mean exactly then, MMMers? So ready for some user interfacing? Me too. And welcome, by the way, Koopa Copy, or maybe that's how you pronounce it. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And debugging is important work. It is. And chat, we're getting kidnapped again. Well, hold on now. Just because you're in this business building and you've already pressed the buttons for the elevator to go up, and the elevator hasn't came yet, I'd say you'll probably have about maybe a minute left. And while the elevators you can't take, you also can't take the stairs because there aren't any stairs. You can't take the doors because, of course, there aren't any doors. And you can't take the windows either because, again, there's nothing but you, the elevators, and me. And check this out, the blog out with the guy who's doing the Tech 80 games. I see, I'll have to save it for later. And haven't you considered the stairs are good for your spines? That would be a good thing if there were stairs, but unfortunately, it's a singular room. And can I take my own life? If you attempt to check, I'd say you'd find out that you've been inflicted by maybe a weakness or of some sort, if I had to guess. Like, you do 0 damage. It's like one of those crazy rooms where you can't even bounce off of the wall. You bounce off of the wall. With that said, why don't I go ahead and make myself approachable? Hi. Since you clearly have some time on your hands and are not being held captive, why don't I go ahead and talk about my up-and-coming game? Yeah. That game is, bam, Necrotype Cafe, a rhythm typing cafe game. Welcome to the elevator pitch, a section I like to do at the beginning of my stream where I attempt to pitch my game to you in less than a minute. The idea behind this is that if you haven't been here before, it gets you caught up to date. If you haven't been here in a second, gets you caught up to date on what the game's about. It also gives me a better chance at getting better at explaining my game in as few words, as few details as possible, or at least within a time limit. There we are. And well, if there's no doors, then how are the elevators open? I said aside from the elevators, there's no doors, but the elevators. And you can't open up the elevators either. We've been over this. There's no shovels for you to dig. There's no crowbars for you to use. Once that timer reaches 45 seconds, I'll attempt my pitch. Let me just double check to see if I missed anything. I think we're all good. Kidnapping. I don't know if I'd call this kidnapping. You just happen to be in the wrong place at the right time. With that said, let's see. Welcome to Necrotype Cafe, a rhythm typing cafe game where you play as Gabriella, a necromancer sent by her necromancy family to a prestigious wizard academy. The idea behind the game is that Gabriella doesn't want to become a necromancer. She wants to become a baker, a chef. So she opens up a hidden place in the school where she makes a cafe where she serves her fellow students, her fellow customers. Not only is it a cafe game, it's a rhythm typing game. And now you're quietly asking, how does that come into play? Well, in order to serve customers, you have to summon the food via spell casting. And spell casting is being done by casting your spells or typing your spells. So you have to type to the beat. And as you go on in the game, you'll unlock new genres, new types of music. And the idea is that each wizard is represented by a different flavor. So you'll be able to combine different flavors, different colors, different music. And all in all, by the end, you'll be able to show everyone, yeah, I ran out of time. And then I faltered my words. Not my worst, not my best. I'd say maybe a 6, possibly a 6. And whoa, shoulders! You like my business suit? And thank you, is it Magawin, possibly? Thank you for the follow, and welcome
Cat
in.
sat on keyboard just redeemed elevator
Time's
pitch.
up, time is up. I can speak until the 45 seconds is up. I guess I could go slower. Technically speaking, yeah, I could go slower. The elevator pitch has been redeemed, so I guess I get a second chance. Okay. So, if it's... You can either go super fast and fit a lot of words in, or you could go slower and fit less words in. You know what? I never considered that, and I would like to hear it again. Alright, let's see. I'll go a little bit slower. Welcome to Necrotype Cafe, a rhythm typing cafe game where you play as Gabriella, a necromancer sent by her necromancy family to this prestigious wizard magic academy. The idea behind the game is that it's a cafe sim with a twist. The idea is that you don't want to become a necromancer, you want to become a baker, a chef. So you decide to open up a hidden cafe in a part of school where you serve your fellow customers, students. The hope is that by the end of the semester, you'll be able to show everyone that you can be a necromancer to be successful. How do you exactly serve your customers? Well, you have to do that by spell casting, typing out letters to the beat. And once you do that, you'll be able to serve your customers, and the hope is that as you go along in the game, you unlock different flavors, and each different flavor is attached to a different wizard. So for example, a pyromancer will have the flavor of spicy, and a wizardmancer. A necromancer will have this flavor of bitter. So you'll be able to make spicy, bitter, and all sorts of different flavors combined. And slowly, still very fast. I feel like I cranked down the speed level. Now, surely everyone's willingly convinced by now, right? Surely, and if for whatever reason you're not 100%, one of these days I'll figure out how to pry open those elevator doors. You could try. No, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? Let me go ahead and get off my business attire and get on our business associate here. So no more seat be gone. Let me go ahead and grab Godot Babbit here. And with that said, let me show you a snippet of the game. As right now, the game prototype is up on itch.io if you'd like to check it out. Though be warned of the bugs galore. And how could you do it in half the words? I tried slower words. I hoped I chopped it off a little bit, though I can't tell. Let me bring you into Obsidian here. And hi Napa. Welcome back into stream. Welcome in. If I go ahead and do, let's see, exclamation, and I do Necrotype, Necrotype, that should link it there. That should be the itch link if it works properly. It does. With that said, let me go ahead and drag this guy over here. And you should be able to see. And then let me go ahead and enable Obsidian on my screen. We have to enable the audio here. And then I click run game, and we should be good to go. Now, currently there is one bug that's being addressed, and we're trying to figure it out. So it's a little tricky, and I feel like the only changes was the speaking volume increase. I tried. I definitely feel like I at least went a little bit slower, just a smidge, not a lot, just a little bit. And you know, Eris, even though you speak fast, I think you're one of the ones I understand the most in English. Lovely. I try my best to enunciate my words, but if I ever start slurring them, that's when I know I have to slow down, as I'm either saying them correctly or it's a lot of either or. So, with that said, why don't we go ahead and try out the prototype? And as I said before, there's currently a bug with calibration that certain calibrations will give you a word jumble that we're still trying to figure out. And I think it's solved in the version I have up in Godot, but we'll see. And opening up a stream to find, all elevator pitches. It's all elevator pitches. Always has been. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and get this started. If I go ahead and click on start, let's go ahead and calibrate. Once the skulls hit this white circle, I press space. So let's see. Start here. Okay, I'm ready. Wait, space, wait, space, space, wait, 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 space. Okay, we have calibrated, and the rap makes it sound like all the words in the pitch are equally relevant, which I don't think is the intention. It's not. No, the issue is, I think, I have points I'm able to reach consistently now on the pitch points, but I definitely think it might be too wordy in the sense of I could go slower and maybe pronounce or say certain words like a typing game instead of typing game. And fun? Yeah, we'll see. Well, let me go into main menu here, levels, and let's go through the tutorial and see if we run into the bug. So I'll click on tutorial here, and here we are in the cafe. This is little Gabriella here. We can move around using the arrow key, so I'll go ahead and move around. Once we have moved around, you can see a customer has spawned in. So let's go ahead and seat our customers. And I mean, you are loud. That does something to the understandability. It's like shouting at someone to buy my product. Oh boy. run to the menu, they'll wave their little arm around to say they're ready to order. Let's go ahead and take their order. Now that their order has been taken, we can open up the menu. And I know for certain, one thing I really want to make sure is obvious in the pitch is this, what is it called? The flavor mechanic. It's not a main, for example, it's a rhythm typing cafe game, but there's more to it. I don't think I give the flavor mechanic enough credit. And so, let's see, how can we do that? I feel like Pyromancers are a wizard class that everyone knows about. Maybe Necromancers too. Maybe Necromancers is pretty popular. So I think talking about spicy and bitter and those two flavors combined together. I talked about it earlier, but what you'll see is that the customer has ordered a special dish. And we have two different colors here. And these different colors represent different flavors in the world. And different flavors are assigned to different wizards. And someday you gotta make the pitch into a wrap. Cheesy or not, it's gonna be legendary. My rapping's not too good, but I do know a few like Hamilton bits. I can say that. I feel like if I give it enough time, a rap could be made for a Necrotype Cafe. Whether it's good or not, that's to be determined. Oh boy. You can see here, Gabby is wearing purple as she is a Necromancer. Necromancers are assigned the flavor of bitter. And in this game, as you go along, more different types of wizard houses will come to your world. And so, for example, a Pyromancer will come in and they'll have the color of either yellow or orange, and they'll have the flavor of spicy. And the hope is that as you go along, more wizards will come in and you'll get different combinations of food flavors, and these food flavors will also have different determinations for how the rhythm part of the game works. And if you do, could you make it into a trailer for your game if you get a Steam page? This game I'm hoping to put on Steam. That's the hope, at least. Once we finish the prototype, once we make a demo, then the game will come off of itch and go to Steam. The hope is that Necrotype Cafe will give me an idea of what it takes to make a game and put it on Steam. So I'm hoping to go through all of the trial and error when it comes to making a Steam game. That's what this will be in. Hi Tim. Welcome back in the stream. Hello, and welcome in. With that said, let's go ahead and follow the skull, and let's put our dishes on here. So we have a sweet bitter cake. That's what that symbol means. So let's slide on over here, and we have arrived at the desk. In order to make a dish, you must get the ingredients from off of the bookshelves. So let's go ahead here, grab a sweet flavor, let's grab a bitter flavor, and let's just grab a cake product. And best case scenario, you make one of those songs that get stuck in people's heads. The song's gonna get stuck inside your head. And yeah, so I totally think you should do the rap for the game, or to the game beat. That could be fun. I'm not opposed to it, especially since technically it's a rhythm game. But then I question you. Maybe we have a wizard that specifically their mechanic is it's a rap or something. That could be fun. And well, that was a hard Fortnite loss. Well, I hope you're be able to win the next one. And welcome into stream, Ame. Welcome in. So, to start the spell casting, all we have to do is hold down Q. If we go ahead and do that, what you'll be able to see is we have letters and circles. So, the idea is that once the letters reach the circle, like with the skulls, we have to press them. Once this bar fills up, you have completed the spell. And if this bar fills up, you have missed the spell. You failed. You don't want that one to fill up. That's the gist of it. So let's see if we get the bug. Either two or three things could happen. Either A, we get the bug. B, I do well. C, I fail. I don't think I've ever failed before. Just gotten not the best score, but let's see. If I click on close here, the game will start. So we get W-I-T H space T H yep, R, yep, that's it. E-A-D-S space O-S space T. So far so good. Okay. W, okay. I-L-I-G-H. Okay. T space A-N-D. Okay, here's the hard part. Okay, space G-O-A-T-S-K-I-N space V-I-O-L. Yep, E-N-T. Space, yep, almost done. Let's see. S-O-C-K-S, comma. Okay, the grade is okay. You know what? I'll take it. One of these days I'm going to get it perfect. The hope is that eventually someone will get it perfect. And once someone gets it perfect, then we know the song is possible to get it perfect on. At this stated point, I definitely think it's a little bit too hard. We want this tutorial to be on the easier side. And comma, yes, there is a comma. Yes, there is a space, and yes, there are periods. Can you tell she's a game creator and need a scroll speed option? Oh, what do you mean by scroll speed? Do you mean how fast the song goes? If so, So some songs are faster than others, and that'll be like an attribute of some of the songs. So for example, maybe a spicy song or a spicy flavored song can be super duper fast and super duper hard. I mean, why does it end with a comma? Oh, I see. Right now, all of these are placeholder text, so I just kind of copied and pasted some, what is it called? Some, I think it was not Dr. Seuss, but some poems I found online that were, public domain. All of these are just placeholders. The spells, words themselves haven't been figured out. This is just to get a feel of the song typing. Let's see here, click on finalize. Alrighty then, once we have our food done and we have our cake good to go, let us go ahead and do that and pull a man on the internet, the Midjourney, and write vocal lyrics for the main / random song. That does sound fun. I've never tried to write my own lyrics. We have completed it. Let's go ahead and serve the customer with E. Once the customer has finished eating, they'll go ahead and wipe their mouth, and let's go ahead and let them leave. And the customer is out and about. And rhythm games have a scroll speed option on how fast the notes come regardless of song BPM / note density. Interesting. Huh. Now I can certainly say, I don't know if I'd be able to add that. While it sounds like a nice feature, right now I'm struggling to even figure out the, the calibration and the latency and input and things like that when it comes to typing. So, should I be able to figure that out? That would definitely be like a nice slice of life update feature, but it wouldn't be a priority as that sounds like a difficult thing to implement. I'm not opposed to the challenge, but right now what we've been working on is the MVP. I've been working on this game since last year, and it's the second game I've ever made. The first game I made in 24 hours, so I'm not expecting to go all out this time around, as I have no idea what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and hide this guy, show this guy here. I should be able to then mute you here, and then I should be able to close you here. Go ahead and lower you down here. I can enable our music here and here. Should be good to go there. Let me up you just a smidge there, and then let me go ahead and bring you to Godot. So let's see. Cafe here should be lovely. All right, and let me bring you into Godot programming here. Lovely. Okay, so what you might have been able to notice, and actually, let me do the recap on what I did do this week, because I want to show it off. It's quite nice. Let me bring you into concepts then. I'll quickly show you what I've been working on. For the longest time, we had some debug text that, while I liked, I didn't think it read very clearly. So the debug text has been updated to give me a better insight into what's going on. If I can find it, I can always open up the Discord. And I recall either somebody smart or Toak once said that every gameplay suggestion adds 6 months to the dev time. Someone smarter Toak. Why'd you have to say it like that, Check? Toak's very smart. He's making his own, I think, RPG right now, and it's coming along swimmingly. Oh my. Let me move. Let's see. I should have a thing right here. Let's see. Here we go. Let me go ahead and copy you, copy image, and paste here. So I have been updating the dev prints that come for the console. So now it looks a little something like this. Initially, the console log looked like this. I had different colors for different things. So for example, if something was successful or if there was a notification for something, there was a different color and they were all centered and it worked. It was nice, but I thought to myself, it didn't quite feel, I needed more information. It's a nice RPG. I'll give him that. I'm looking forward to it releasing. I think it'll be a little bit more time before so, but I'm excited. Let's see. Let me go and slide down here. So we went from this, and over the week, I have been updating it to this. And actually, this is an outdated update information as well. The hope is that our debug, since I think I do my best work when I debug with prints, so I wanted to make sure there was as much information as possible. And this is actually an old debug screenshot from when I've done it. So it is no longer this, and it is no longer this either. We have gone from this, and hi, is it Miss Enderpina, possibly? Welcome to the stream. Welcome in. Welcome back as well. Let me bring you into programming here. There we are. Let me go ahead and show you the new print. So if I go ahead and click on play here, what I can do is if I hide this guy and I go ahead and do you and then do you here. Productive today? Yeah. We're gonna see how productive we can be. I'm super excited. It's always a fun day when we get to do a little bit of Necrotype Cafe. What you should be able to notice is that now there's a few dots going on, and there's also this kind of bracket with number and so many scenes. Yeah, this game is over. What is it called? over a year of development, and it's not, most likely, not the cleanest it could be. It's, again, second game ever, but I just want to make sure it's made, and then I can optimize it a little bit later. And the scroll speed can contribute to difficulty because reacting to 200 ms stimulus is easier than pressing the input exactly X seconds after you see the signal. Yeah, I'm still not, well, I have a small understanding of how all of the MS stuff works, but not good enough to where I could explain it back to you. That's still a struggle I'm going with, and it wasn't something I thought I'd had to know before, well, when making a rhythm game, so I'm learning as I go. And, oh, I'm in OBS or whatever? Oh, I see. Yeah. Different scenes to make it easy to do certain screens. With that said, what you'll notice is a few things here, and games are supposed to have a lot of files. Indeed. Yeah, especially depending on how big or small. If I go ahead and hide this guy, show this guy here, you should be able to hopefully get a better picture of it if I do that there. There we are. So this is the new debug print, but it has a special power. Well, actually, there's two. What I can do is if I go ahead and do toggle, what I should be able to do is toggle this guy here. Oh, hold on. Set this guy to true. And then, there we go. So this is the new guy right down here. What you'll be able to see is the message itself. And let me go ahead and pause this guy. We have the message associated with it. We have the color. We have the, what is it called? The name of whatever we're trying to do. And then we have the function. And then also now we have an, oh, interesting. This guy here doesn't have a script guy. Hold on. But it does have an underline. Interesting, that's all right. The idea is now I can click any of these guys and they'll bring me to the function that it was printed from, which I thought was a neat feature, as I think it'll make debugging a lot easier. And that's some very nice printing. Whoa, thank you, very nice, thank you. Yeah. And is that an add-on? Nope, it is not. This here, if you're looking for specific colors and everything, it's a little bit tricky to explain since it's compiled, but all this is it's a print function, but it's a, not function, print, but it's a print, what is it called? Print rich. And I can show you very briefly, if we go to utility, for example, what I'm doing is I'm adding a lot of brackets and a lot of different symbols here. Let's see. Oh, here it is. I add different symbols. I add different brackets. I change the color depending on what the text is. So for example, if there's a color here, then the type of color, and then I put a little message in there. And then I also grab the file addresses and names, and I do that in that function, this function here, where I get the URL and I add the line and source and things of that nature. It took me, that's what I've been doing this week. I haven't been doing the UI, I've been doing this UI. Oh, one more thing I can say. And okay, let's go, thank you. One more thing before we get started. I also now have a small, it's not completed yet, but if I go ahead and do toggle, what I am adding as well for debug is I'm adding a debug screen. So if I go ahead and click this guy, you'll be able to see some debug things pop up. Not everything that I want to be is here yet. For example, I want to add an area for what the customers are, and I also want to add the different type of customers that you can add to the level. So this is the start of it. I should be able to finish it, maybe even by someday. We'll see. Cute, thank you. A cheat debug menu, yeah. I'm hoping to make this easier to implement and test and all things of that nature. So I'm happy with the fact that even if I didn't work on the book per se, it's all right. It's okay. I worked on other important things. With that said, what we'll be doing today is we'll be updating this little guy here. This is the, well, everything you see in the game, it's safe to say that it's a placeholder. So from the character sprite to the cafe itself and everything else, it's a placeholder. What we're trying to do is we're trying to make the MVP of the game. So the minimum viable product. For this game to exist, what are the least amount of things you need? I'm making a rhythm typing cafe game, and the hope is that, okay, what's the minimum of a cafe game? What's the minimum of a rhythm game? What's the minimum of a typing game? And so what we've been doing over this year is we've been adding the ghosts, we've been adding the customers, and we've been adding different dishes and menus. Right now, we only have, I think, two. If I go over here, we should be able to see another neutral nature. Weird. Could you elaborate what you mean a little bit, Banafi? Let me go ahead and move this up here. Right now, there's about only 2 flavors in the game, or 3. And there are, if it lets me move and click, oh, hold on. Okay, never mind. I thought there was a bug. And we can open up here. You'll see there's a few. So right now, the hope is that there will be 10 in total. Right now, I think I only have 2 or 3 of an option, just so we can know we can swap back and forth. And I made my own cheat/debug menu, but realized it is an add-on. It was a bit annoying to make. Oh, I see. Do you mean this here? Now, this isn't mine. This is a plugin. This is called the, let's see. This is called the Penku console. I have enjoyed it because you can type commands from the console. It reminds me of Minecraft. And the hope is that we'll not only be redoing the book, well, yeah, the book's going to have all our information. Not only is it going to have the customer orders, so for example here, if I spawn a customer in like so, and if we had the customer sit down, what you'll notice is that the customer status appears here for what they want to order. So this is one thing we'll be updating. This will be a place where you can see what the customers want to order. I also want to make a glossary. So if a player doesn't know what this purple means or the symbol of the cake, I want to show that there along with other attributes. For example, different customers have different speeds and waiting times. So I want to show that off too. And I named my tiled. Oh, that's cute. That's a cute name. Tiled is a tilde. I know I used the tilde key for my button on enable and disable. Let's see. Am I forgetting anything else? Hydrate? Sure.
Cat
on
sat
keyboard.
on keyboard
Thank you
just
for everything as well.
redeemed hydrate.
So this spellbook that we're making, I don't think that'll ever get old. This spellbook that we're making, it'll have information on the customers. It'll also have all the current active orders on the screen, and it's also going to have the updated options menu. And I can show you what we've been currently making. So remember, just a heads up on the reminder, as this has been a long time of making. We've at least been working on this for a month. If I hold down space, this is what the current book looks like. And currently, our new book looks a little something like this. And this is a little bit hard to see. So let me click on play and, oh, wrong play. Hopefully, I didn't leave the game on a broken state. Well, we're about to see, aren't we? If I go ahead, oh, you should be able to see it, yeah. So at the very top now, there's 4 tabs. There's going to be a tab for customers, there's going to be a tab for flavors, and there's going to be a tab for orders, and this is going to be your options tab. So you're able to flip through the book with the arrow keys. You're also able to enter into the book from the chapters and flip the pages. This is what we're working on, and I think I can see some upgrade. You think? That's really nice. That's so cool. Thank you. It's been a little bit tricky since I didn't know much about UI, but a member of the community reached out and helped me with understanding UI a little bit more, so I can certainly say I'm slowly starting to get it. For example, when I made my debug screen, I learned the tools and methods that I was taught to hopefully make a cleaner debug screen than I initially would have, as I've made one before, but it was very confusing. I mean, granted, this itself is a lot. And at some point, I want to try to, make certain scenes of different things. But since I'm still not sure how the control nodes and all of those things work, it's all in one scene until I can get a good grasp. With that said, what we'll be doing today, as you can see, we have already finished one tab. We have finished the customer information. So this is where you'll be able to see, okay, we have necromancers in the game. Necromancers are gothic cool people. So you get the description of the wizard class, you get the icon of it, then you get their stats. You also get the flavor that it's associated with, as well as the description of what the flavor is. And on the right, what you can see is all the different combination unlocks of the game. So as you go on, you'll be able to see not upgraded, but more and more flavors. I plan to add a total of 10 flavors into the game. Right now, there's 3. We have bitter, we have sweet, and we have memory. Memory is a special one. I won't get into it since I don't think we need to, but memory is associated with a, what is it called? I guess you could call it maybe an obstacle in the game, which are ghosts. They're like customers, but you have to serve them a special dish instead. And they add a debuff for customers, so customers can get afraid of the ghosts if they're in the area. Let's see, with that said, yeah, we have finished the customer tab, and now what we've been working on is our dish tab. This guy here is supposed to show us all the different dishes that we can make. And I never paid attention to the speed and patience stats. That's so cool. Isn't it? Oh man, the thing is, all of this was hidden before. Now it's not. Now I can actually show what's going on from behind the scenes. And you talk so fast, less energetic, it's contagious. Good. I'm glad I can spread the ha-has around. That's always nice to hear. And I feel like I'm out of breath. The good news is I'm breathing, so at the very least that's good. And can the ghost steal your controller? No, they can't. And there's a few ideas we had about the ghost. We haven't implemented them too much, as there's other features I want to have for the ghost. I want them to not only affect the cafe part of the game, I also want them to affect your rhythm typing part. But for now, they only affect the cafe portion, and later down the line, since it's not a requirement, they'll affect the rhythm typing portions. With that said, what we've been trying to work on is the dish screen. The dish screen is supposed to look a little let's see if we can find it. If I scroll out a little bit more, the dish screen I'm hoping to make look like this. Here we are, a little bit of a mock-up of the dish screen. We're going to have 2 icons for what the dish looks like, and then we're going to have the different flavors associated with the dish. That's the hope. And when you click on these different tabs, it'll allow you to see the different options and different combinations. For example, I know for certain in the game, once we are able to add extra stuff, I want to have a sweet, spicy cake, and it's going to be a lava cake. I know that for certain. And that's why on here, oh, hold on, if I undo you and undo you, that's why on here I have a sort of, what's it called? Well, actually, let's see, how can we do this? I don't know if I drew it out, but I want to have the name of the food flavor, and then I want to have a small description, and then a little image for each of the different types. And so like, yep, that's what this is. It's an encyclopedia, it's a glossary, it's supposed to tell you all of your unlocks in the game, so it gives you, it's flavor text! Wink, wink. So to speak, where it's not required, but I'd like to have it so that the player can know what they should be aspiring to. For example, if you know there's a total of 10, it might encourage you to want to continue in the game and unlock more. I at some point want to try adding a shop. I haven't figured out how to implement that. That's just an idea right now. The good news is, this shop idea, it's not in the MVP. Right now, we're only focusing on the MVP. So should we be able to do all of that? Then we'll see about adding it, because I would love to add like an upgrade where you can get a skeleton butler. That's a want. That's been a want from day one. And that was good. good. But that said, we're working on this guy. Let me go ahead and grab a screenshot so that we can know what we're messing with. And let's go ahead and get started. Let me click on programming here. And with that said, let me open up PureF. So let me make sure this is good to go. Click on that button there. Click on that button there. And let's see here. If I open up you, I should be able to paste you in. And then if I show the screen about here, you should be able to see, I think, yes, indeed. Okay, so where we last left off at is that these buttons were not working. I was not able to go up and down on the buttons menu. And the shop is going to release before some December. Yeah. Soon, Tam. Very, very soon, Tam. I'll go ahead and move this guy here. We can see all of those guys. And actually, I'm going to move our PRF to about down here. There we go. Okay, and with that said, let me also enable our goal objectives. So let me go ahead and click on you and you. And then we'll say, making select UI, we're going to do, goal is linking, L-I-N-K, linking buttons, UI buttons. There we are. Linking U-I-B-U-T-T-O-O-N-S. Linking UI buttons. That's our current goal. So move that there, that way we know what we're working towards. And if you do add a shop, you're probably also going to have to make ingredients run out. Well, the thing is, I don't know how to say it, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe Ivalion? Possibly. What I can say is, for the shop idea, how it works in this game is it won't be you're unlocking different tools and resources. It won't be that. More so, it's going to be a power-up system. So you'll be able to unlock, for example, maybe a speed buff, or maybe a something to do with spells. That'll be it. Yeah, an upgrade. Yeah, an upgrade shop. Not less resource, more upgrades, and you'll get different rewards for serving lots of customers or serving lots of ghosts. That'll be the feel of it. I don't know specifically what, but I didn't want to make it a thing of, oh, I ran out of this thing. As since in this game, magic is done through not ingredients, or it's done through poetry. So the idea is that you have ink bottles of certain flavor types, so like different colors, and then you have paper, the spell parchments, and you don't run out of them. Everyone's rich here, so you don't have to worry about being running around with anything. And sounds cool, but out of scope? Yes, indeedy. Out of scope for now. I'm working as small as I can, and I will worry about expanding it later. I don't want to go too big and go big or go home. With that said, let me go ahead and click on you here, game, and this is where we're at. And if I go ahead and click on, let's see you here. That's the one I'm looking for. Let me make sure everyone's rich. Yep. This is a prestigious wizard academy. So everyone here has money. And specifically, the way it works in my world is that necromancers are the creme de la creme. They're not feared. They're well renowned in the sense of necromancers are probably going to be doctors or lawyers. They're up in there on the business side of things. Let's see, sweet, bitter, and what we want that guy to look like is we want him to look like this guy here. And if I'm just double checking, if I click on play again, I just want to see, oh, not this play, the other play. Let's see, close that guy, click this guy here. What are we seeing right now for our menu, your text? And this is the wrong game. Hold on, your time has not come, Gabby. Let me click on play here. Let's see if this works. If I click on you there, we should be, yes, lovely. If I go ahead and slide on over to here, yeah. So, we want that little bell. It's a bell. It's not supposed to be a bell. It's supposed to be a dish. But the more I look at it, the more I think bell. That's gonna have to be modified. Maybe I can add like a handle. Possibly. We'll see. But that icon is supposed to be on the left here, which you can see. And then the word here. So let's figure out why this icon is not on the left. I believe that would be step 1. if we go into, and let me see what I can close. I can close, truth be told, most of these things can get closed, as well as you can get closed as well. Let me do that there, and let me double check that we have a backup saved before we get started. Let me just check Visual, what's it called? Visual VS Code, I think. Let me open up you here, and make a backup very quickly if I haven't already made one. And hear me out, 2 shops. One ran by a student selling stuff affecting the cafe customers. The other one ran by a ghost giving you upgrades and special powers. Bonkers and out of scope? Maybe, but cool sounding nonetheless. Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many cool ideas, but do I have the ability to implement them? That's the hard part. I do like the way you think though, Chuck, but remember, Gabby is right now very deathly afraid of ghosts. I don't know if she would ever buy stuff from a ghost. Let's see. I think we're good to go. Hold on, that one there. Do we have everything saved? Yes, everything has been saved. And VS Code, yeah, I like using it VS Code and Git just to make sure we have backups. As one time I tried making a game and it didn't work out well. And once it ended up getting corrupted and I wasn't able to make any saves of it, I didn't program for at least a good year or so. And Casper in shambles. She'll be running away from them, that's for certain. So let's see here. We have that there. Everything's saved. Let's go ahead and open up our little guy here. So we have our book, and right now we're working on the dish page. We have here our dish tab. If we scroll down a little bit more, we should be able to find our dish page, though I guess technically speaking, I could just also type in here dish page. So let's see, dish page, or would it be underscore dish page? Let's see, dish page. Here we are, dish page. There we go. These guys here. Not only do we have dish right page, we should have a dish left page. I'm not seeing a dish left page though. We have left and right. Interesting. And stupid, non-consistent, and ever-changing lore. Fair enough. Well, that's the thing though, Jack. One reason why she doesn't want to become a baker or become a necromancer is because of her fear of ghosts. And we talked about it before, how, again, out of scope. But wouldn't it be fun to have different endings where maybe if we serve a lot of ghost customers, you get the ending where she learns to conquer over her fear? That could be fun. But again, scope. So let's see here. Dish info. Nope. Let me go and close you here. Close you here. Close you here. Okay, so we have at the top here first our dish title. Then we have the info for the dish, and then we have the flavor list. That's what we're supposed to be editing. If I open up this guy for our flavor list, what we should be able to see is that this is the flavor list box here, and then we have, let's see, our sweet flavor. I see, that's this little guy here. And our sweet flavor, we should be able to open in the editor here, which brings us to our flavor select button. Gaia, okay, our flavor select button here. Why, oh why, is this little screen guy? What are you, a product? Oh, I see, okay. So the idea was, and I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. Did we think we should put the button with the icon with the button? I think that would be easier than trying to put it with this tab here. These are just empty for now. And I see. Yeah, and one thing I also noticed too, one thing I've been struggling with to figure out is mixels. For example, here you can see the mixels of the sprite versus the button. Very different. I'm not too fussed about mixels, since that's a thing of, it would be nice to have everything equal and consistent, but how much development time would that take away trying to gauge everything? And since a lot of these are placeholders too, the good news is a lot of them are going to get changed, and endings that are affected by random counters are not the best feeling. It can be tied to some optional content, like the previously discussed night mode. Yeah, I would love to do like a night mode. Yeah, that would be a thing I would love to do, should we have the time and the ability to, as I remember playing a game that had a night mode, and it was a lot of fun. So let's see, let me go ahead and remove this product image, as we don't need you here. We're then going to move you into our flavor guy here, and we're supposed to be adding the image here. So let's see, we have our flavor button parent, and then our flavor button. And on our flavor button here, that's this guy here. Yes, indeed. We want the sprite, the image, to appear on the side here. So what we need to do is add an H-box, or not add an H-box per se. We need to add a texture container. Texture rectangle, I believe, should be, oh no. I don't think we can add a texture rectangle. Wait, hold on. No, the texture rectangle, I think, because of the way I have it set up. I think what we're going to have to do is add a control node. So let's see, control node, we'll go ahead and create it here. From this control node, we need to make sure it's set to as big as it will possibly go. And with that, we also have to make sure it's set as not a child of that guy, it's its own guy. We set it to as big as possible, so make sure, again, it's expanded as much as it can. We'll make sure you are here too, container sizing, yep, fill and expand, and just make sure expand is good. With that, we need to make a, let's see, I believe it's going to be, and we can also say flavor icon to see, yeah, flavor sprite. And we need to add a flavor sprite. This flavor sprite's quite special, as it's particular in the sense of this guy here is its own scene, its own guy. I have a plugin for I was about to say Discord. I have a plugin for Godot called A Sprite Wizard, and I don't know if this is the right way to do it for this plugin specifically, but I've been working with this plugin for as long as I have known about it, so I'd say out of the year I've been working on it, maybe for the past half of that time. And hi Torn, welcome to stream. Brings a tablet with food hidden under a smooth silver lid to you. Look to me bring an offer of good faith to you. Lifts the lid, and you see, take it back, take it away. I'm not even gonna finish that. And the settings at hand is a nice space for a bunch of possibilities for endings. Yeah, I think it could be a lot of fun. Let's see here. How I have it set up is that the sprites, to separate them, since they're going to be different animations, I have a file organized of a sprite file that's sectioned in from the different flavors, and you can see the here flavor sprite. Now I'm quite curious to know, as this is an advanced sprite, and advanced sprite has a few different features to it that I don't think I need to explain. Let's double check. We have ghost status, cast, UI, wizard status. Nope, I think we're good. For right now, we'll just have a flavor sprite. And not a fan of bananas, I see. They're not tasty, just I don't know what it's about them, but I tried them before and it never went well. And hi, hello, welcome into stream, welcome back in. I hope your week went well. So let's see, we're going to go back into here, go back into our flavor select button, our favorite flavor sprite, and let's go ahead and make this flavor sprite here the child of our control node. And I'm wondering as well, do we reset your transforms or reset your position? I see. What I'm going to guess we have to do is we probably have to make like a center rectangle, maybe, possibly. Let's see. Center here. Let's see. And you refuse this offer of peace? How dare you? That means war! Taryn, I've always been more of a peaceful person. I don't know if war would be, up to my speed. It's not really an option, oh my. And she's been tormented and haunted by them for a year at this point. Yeah, it's been horrifying. I can agree to that one. Let me go ahead and click on the expand button here, and let's see. So it's expanded, it's over here. What I'm hoping to do is I want to put it here beside the flavor. That's the goal. We want the sprite to appear beside it. The question is, why is it not appearing beside it? If I go ahead and hide this control node, show it again. Okay, I'm wondering then, maybe if we don't use the control node, maybe we use a center container here, and if we do an expand here, okay, that does not work. Just double checking as well for our sizing here, fill and expand. What if we do shrink center and shrink center here? Okay, that does nothing. Got ya. That's all right. And points on the table with banana food, you know what to do. In my culture, bananas are sacred. Well, say, Taran, you're under new, what's it called? Under new management. Let's see. We have our center container and our spacers are working properly. We have our flavor button parent here and our flavor button. I'm curious to see, what if we slide this guy here? That does nothing. And I'm wondering as well, if we expand this guy, I see. Yeah, I can certainly say I've been struggling with the control nodes, but it's a lot of fun to see if we can figure it out. And in an old man's voice, and it all started because of a pickaxe. And I did not get the memo. No worries at all, Torrin. It'll be C. So don't you worry. You will get all nice and comfy. They'll be gone before you know it. Let's see. So it's our spacer left, that guy there. This control ward node, I wanted it to be filled up and expand, but it's not being expanded. It's not moving anything. So I'm wondering, why is that the case? If we just do our flavor sprite here, and I were to, let's see, reset our position here, I'm curious to see as well, if we had the sprite somewhere here, for example, how does that work out? And here's, I have a serious question. Have you done any voice acting? I have not done any official voice. I've not done any official voice acting per se. However, I am open to voice acting, would they even be called commissions? But yeah, I've done, what is it, voice acting reels as well as singing reels. I can do exclamation, I think, voice, maybe VI, maybe that'll work. Let's see, is that a command I'd made? Okay, how about exclamation, oh, no, yeah, there you are. Yeah, you can check out my attempts there. Yep, and stupid upper management never sends the proper information. Stomps out of room. I will be back. I see, Tarn. Well, I hope you have a nice time, and I hope you're able to find appropriate food for the occasion. And I hope you're interested. Well, I am glad it piqued your interest. So let's see here. With that said, our flavor sprite, if it were to go above our button parent, is that what it'd have to do? Like, would it have to go here instead? I see. Okay. And then our spacer left, our control guy here, we'll go ahead and delete you here. Yeah, okay. And our flavor sprite, it makes me wonder, well, I mean, I guess that works, but it's super duper tiny, isn't it? And you're like a long lost Cartoon Network character, never change. Thank you. I would at some point, well, the thing is, well, I am not up for doing game jams and things of that nature since it takes away from Necrotype Cafe development. I at all don't mind participating along with, what is it called? Like, participating along in making, and contributing to different games. For example, making the assets of games or doing the voice acting of it. I am all for doing those types of projects, just as long as it's not a dev work. It's a lot of fun. So let's see here. Is that too tiny, you think? I feel like we could make it a smidge bigger. Maybe if we made you about, let's see. Oh, hold on, it needs to be scaled. How sweet of the art. Let's see, make you a little bit bigger here. And let me also just check to make sure YouTube is connected. I see. My apologies, Brandon Sprites. I don't know why the YouTube chat didn't pop up. I don't know if you're still here, but nope, this isn't pre-recorded. It's just a matter of the bot not notifying me that things aren't working. But welcome in if you are still here, and if not, again, my apologies that I didn't get to you sooner. And ads are already incoming. I see. Let me go ahead and slide you down and over and here. So probably, maybe we can do about there for our icon at the moment. And she feels like a character that presents a tutorial in a Flash game. That's so specific. Interesting. Let me go ahead and save our flavor guy here. If we look at our book, yeah, this could work. Oh no, never mind. It could not work. This guy appears here. It should appear more so here. Huh, how odd. That's okay though. Well, we're about to do the ad break. So when we come back, we can continue this. So I'll go ahead, have the ad break continue. Let's see, press that button there. We should be good to go. And with that said, let me get some wet here. Water is all good to go. I am now properly hydrated. With the time we have left, and it's all pre-recorded, and we're all actors and bots. Well, no. How it would work, check, is if it was pre-recorded, this might have been like a private stream or something. That technically would be possible, I'm a bot. It reminds me of, who am I? Oh boy, I can't have a midlife crisis now. With the time we have left for the ads, why don't we go ahead and do some stretches? And it's a rebroadcast, actually. Oh no, don't feed into the theories. We'll go ahead and start off by stretching to the right here. A little bit to the right. Then, let's go ahead and stretch to the left a little bit. Make sure to go slow, don't pull anything. If you do and you break something, I should not be held liable. Talk to my lawyer. We'll then go to the back here a little bit. And then we'll go forward a little bit. And hi, Nero. Welcome into stream. Welcome into stretch time. Alright, let's go ahead and do the next stretches. And you can't have a crisis. Your contract states you have 2 more hours of work. It reminds me of this thing I saw recently of no crying on the job. You get to cry on your break. Let's go to the right here with our neck. As slow as you can. Don't want it to hurt, but just want a little bit of a stretch. Then let's go to the left here. And I also don't know if it's just my old man eyes, but the top and the bottom lines look thicker than the rest of the lines. Possibly, maybe, left a little bit. Do you mean this thing here? The top and bottom of the here versus here? If so, yeah, the spacing is a little bit off right now. The hope is that we can at least get it in the ballpark of where we want it and then fine tune it once things are functional and working. Let's see, we'll go to the left a little bit. And then we'll go back a smidge. And then we'll go front a smidge. There we go. And then we'll go to the right. It's recommended to hold this for about a minute or so, but we don't have time for that. So we'll hold it for a few seconds. Another one you can do is holding this down here. So once you turn and go down, that's also a nice one. Again, a minute, no time. Let's also go to the left a little bit. Hold it. And then let's go down again. Now these are quite nice ones, but my favorite of all time, I think, at least neck stretch-wise, is left and right. Up and down. It's also recommended, if you haven't as well, get up for a second or two, make sure you shake out your body, and if you can, do some hamstring stretches against the wall or walk around for a second or two and look away from the computer every so often. The reason why we do these stretches every ad break, not only because it fills up that time, but also because I think it's good habit to make sure you can program as long as you can in life and do the longevity and also just good health. With that said, though, ad breaks are just about done. I'll get a little bit more water. No, why? So it's not me being that blind. Just a little bit. Let me get some water here. Lovely, and welcome back from the outbreak. Welcome back. Okie dokie. With all of that said and done, shall we continue? And yeah, don't get blood clots. Yeah, 100%. It's very important that as much as you strengthen your mind while programming, it's also good to strengthen your body. So let's see. I'll click on you here, click on you. Why is our sprite? I guess maybe because it's not centered. And I didn't hear it crack, but I did hear my bones cry. Should I be concerned? I am not a registered doctor to answer that question, check. You need to go see a professional. Besides, I wouldn't want to give an answer and be held liable. It's all about that. So let's see. Our flavors right here. Why aren't you linked? I guess maybe it's due to the position. If I reset the position, it moves up there. I wonder, our container here. If we do like a panel, no. Texture container, panel container. Maybe if we do a control node, possibly. Okay, I got an idea. It's too late, the papers are on their way. No! Oh boy. We'll make a control node here, and let's just focus on filling it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the flavor sprite. Let's just see if we can get a box filled out here. So I'll make a control node. After I make a control node, I'm going to do a color rectangle, and from the, oh, I forgot. Color control node needs to also be expand, and we also need to do our color rectangle as expand. So this should hopefully give us info into what this guy is pulling up. And right now, this guy is as small as can be. We have a spacer here, it seems like, for our button, and then our right, and then our button parent, so that's this guy here. Oh, hold on. This is the button itself. Oh, I see. Okay, that gives it more insight. Okay, I take it back. I thought this guy here, hold on. Is there a way I can add like a, what is it called? Color rectangle? And then I want to make you filled. That way I can tell what's going on. Full rectangle. But it's not filling, which is odd. Maybe it's because it's behind the button? If I move this guy up, no. I wanted to see if we could see the entirety of where the button's taking place up. And update, I just got a confirmation that... What do you mean the message got eaten by a sea pickle? Gasp. All going according to plan. I don't know the sea pickle you speak of, Jack. Let's see. Layout, anchors, transform. Is it because we don't have a minimum size set? So for example, if we do 16 by 16? Oh, interesting. Okay. And then we have our flavor button parent here, and our flavor button, and then our label selection name. Okay, we might have to modify this guy and never go full rectangle. Nuts! Well, the thing is, one tip I've learned is that by adding the rectangles, you can see the area that a space takes up. So the rectangles are a nice, clear indication. For example here, this rectangle let me know that I'm not doing this area quite as properly as I thought. So what we're going to do is I'm going to remove the spacer guy here. I'm going to remove the spacer guy here too. These spacers aren't needed. What we're looking at right now is our flavor button parent. Make sure this guy is set to full. He is expand and expand. And we need this guy here to take up as much space as he can. And gloss over your VA stuff, and you got to celebrate that side of your talent more often. Though, got to say, you're a bit sus for singing Monica's song so well. It's a fun song. If a song has a lot of vibrato, I tend to enjoy it. The thing is that channel is, well, all the stuff's not on the main channel because it's a thing of, that's just for fun. If I ever have time to write out a script or ever have time to record a song, then I put it up on there. I do appreciate it though. And is the overgrown plankton forcing you to stay silent? Holmes, they asked. Oh boy. So let's see. Our flavor button parent. Yeah, we might have to modify these a little bit. For example, this guy here can go willy-nilly, and we don't want it to be willy-nilly. We want him to be where he needs to be, and where he needs to be. Yeah, okay. Let's modify these guys then. There needs to be a few modifications. I'll go ahead and I'll delete our section name. Let's just start over. I think that would be our best bet. I'm going to remove all of these guys here. I'm actually going to remove you too. Remove everything. Let's just restart. I think that's a good idea. Just clear the board here. So I'll go ahead and save this guy. Let's first start off by figuring out where our flavor select button can go. And, oh, you know what I'm realizing as well? This is all messed up. We actually would have to do our flavor select button from this screen before we make a new one. So I take it back. Okay, and with that said, let me go ahead and delete these two guys. Yeah, okay. And then after that, we're going to add a new guy. So add a new control node here. There we go. And this control node's going to have a fill. So you're going to get fully filled. There you go. And this guy here should show us where our button will go. And funnily enough, she has a seed from that Monica seed. I keep it on hand at all times. It's good to have on reference. Let's see. We'll go ahead and add that there. And then for this control node, we'll go ahead and make sure we have our color rectangle. And again, we'll set the color rectangle to full so we can see where our control node is taking up. And what you can see is that it's taking up one of these sections. The yellow boxes represent other flavors. Since I plan to have a total of 10, I thought, okay, do we want to have it scrolling as you go up and down, or do we want to have all 10 on the screen at all times? I thought it would be best to have all 10 up here. So that's what this is showing. What 10 buttons would look like on the screen. Let's see. If we do that there, what we'll do then is we will name this. What do we name it? Let's name it the flavor button, B-U-T-T-O-N. Flavor button parents. There we are. Flavor button parent. P-A-R-E-N-T. And yeah, you're not beating the cosmic entity and murder allegations. Hold on now. Hold on. I never said I was a murderer. I have ever said on multiple occasions I am an eldritch princess, which means that yes, cosmic entity and things of that nature are to be expected. And hi, Captain McFriendly. Welcome into the stream. Welcome in. Eris, I don't remember you asking to make a profile picture of me. What exactly do you mean, Captain McFriendly? I'm not that goth. Eldritch Princess is totally viable. Yeah. Would you mind elaborating, Captain McFriendly? Are you asking to make a profile picture of me? Have I made a goth profile picture recently? Oh boy. And I did read that. Lovely. So let's see. We have our parent flavor button, and then we have our, let's see, flavor, F-L-A-V-O-R, flavor button, B-U-T-T-O-N, rectangle. And I'll do this here, rectangle. This lets us know where this guy is going, what this guy is going to fill up. It gives us a preview. After that, now that we know that it does fill up here, what we need to add next is we need to add a V-box. So let's see, H-box, never mind. We add an H-box, and now we know that the H-box, once we click full or expand, is going to fill up the entire blue area. In theory, if I'm understanding this correctly, if I click on you, click on that button, then yes, it has expanded to the full. And you can't see it here, unfortunately, but what I'm clicking here is the full rectangle option. And hi, Mr. Dream Studios. Hi, everyone. How are you today? Welcome in. I'm doing lovely. It's always a fun day when we get to do a little bit of programming. And Goth and Bitter, I feel attacked. Oh! I see. Are you saying you'd be a necromancer in this world then? And I'm actually not goth at all, but I feel the bitterness makes up for it. I like my coffee, how I like my soul. Dark and bitter. I see. That makes a lot more sense. We'll go ahead and save this guy here. Now in our H-box container, we're going to add two other things. We need to add in, I'm wondering if we need to add a control node, and I'm also wondering too, can we modify this parent guy? Can we move it around? Will it let us? You can't. Okay, good. That's good. We want it to stay linked. So in our H-box boyo here, let's go ahead now and add our flavor guy. So if I do, and I type in here, F-L-A-V-O-R, we want a flavor sprite. So flavor sprite, let's see. There should be one here. Flavor sprite. Let's go ahead and add this as a child. And that gives us a flavor sprite. However, our flavor sprite here, he's a node. And because he's not a control node, he doesn't get the perks of adding to the system, so to speak. So we need to link him to a node that he can't move from is the hope. And my soul, highly profitable commodity, especially with pumpkin spice. Ooh, I could go for pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice has got to be one of my favorites. And what class maxes out bitter? Well, the idea behind my game, Captain McFriendly, is that each wizard class, each wizard house, is assigned to a different flavor. So necromancers are bitter. I have a wizard class called the Medimancers. They're healer wizards. They have the flavor of sweet. Pyromancers have the flavor of, Pyromancers have spicy. Cryomancers, ice wizards have minty. Each wizard represents a different flavor. An Erich coffee merch one. I'd love to make a little mug. That would be fun. Let's see. We're going to make you there, full rectangle there, and this guy here is getting moved around because he's not linked to anything. So I'm wondering, that's where the idea I had made initially of the center container came into play, but I don't know if we can do a center container. I don't know if a center container is going to work out as well as I initially thought. If we go ahead and click expand on here, if we make this flavor sprite the child of the center container, and we make you transform to the regular position, yeah, that doesn't work. Okay. I have a few ideas. I'm not out yet. And then there are pirate wizards. Yes, brine mancers. And the pirate wizards, their flavor is saute. And I did that. I gotta stay focused and productive. Oh, hold on. I gotta stay focused and productive with such a persistent and chaotic distraction. Impressive. I do what I can, though. We do make slow progress, but I enjoy this. I enjoy it. Make sure I don't. It makes sure I don't always take it too seriously, and it's less stressful streaming than it is offline. And wow, that track's nice. Good job. Thank you. So let's see. Our center container. This guy right here isn't working, so I'm wondering container size. Yeah, we have fill, transform all of you guys here. This guy is linked to the position. So how can we move this guy and make sure he's doing what he needs to do? As right now, this flavor sprite does not assign to who's going on here. I'm wondering, maybe what we can do, since that's the case, is, let's see. You are that there. Okay, we'll delete you two, delete you, save you. Then let's see, what node could we do? Center container didn't work. I don't think a control node will work. Is there another container we can go for? CONTAI. Maybe we can go for not a container, because containers are ones you don't want to use. You usually want to use like a, let's see. You want to use, typically, I think, the next step would be panel container. There's also margin container. Margin container could work. Let's see about margin container. We add the margin container here. We go ahead and expand it. And then if we add our flavor sprite in again, let's see. We make it a child here. That doesn't work. However, I'm wondering if this will, if it's possible. Let's see. If we make this guy bigger, so we go ahead and grab our, let's see, transform. If we make the scale bigger to about here-ish, possibly there, and we go ahead and change the position, that's the 0, position right now. If I move this guy to about here-ish, let's see how this works out. I'm not too sure. Let's just move him over here for now. With that said, we also now need to add in our button. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in here our control node. We'll go ahead and click on you here. And I'd never guess by watching so many people and commenting on about a handful of those would be less stressful for anyone. Well, the thing is, I enjoy company. Sometimes, depends. I definitely have to pace it, but company can be fun, especially since a lot of you tend to help me when it comes to ideas. So let's see, we're going to make this our button, let's see, button space, so BUTTON SPACE, button space CONTROL, button space control. Then we'll go ahead and add in here our, what do we need to do? We need to add now in a color rectangle so we can see what's going on. That guy's over there. We need to also make sure you're filled in. So you're there, and you also need to be filled in. So let's see. You're full. Make sure you're also full here. Expand, expand. And what you can see is, hopefully, that this button container is going to take up as much space as we need it to, or as it can. If I hide the margin container, what I'm expecting to happen is for the white to fill up the entire box. That's what I'm expecting to happen. Let's see. It does. Okay. I sort of kind of getting it. And actually, Eris, do you have VODs / tutorials on creating similar UI in Godot? I can dig for it. I just figured I'd ask first. I don't have tutorials, Captain McFriendly, unfortunately. I watch you all the time. I don't seem to mind. And, well, I don't have any tutorials, unfortunately, because I'm still learning this. But I can say, if I do exclamation YOUTUBE, you should be able to find, as I both stream on YouTube and Twitch, you should be able to find the most recent VODs from the saga of doing UI. I'd say talks about the method of doing this. This menu, making this one here, I believe we did on stream last time. However, the customer menu was done off stream when I got some help for how to sort things out. I'm hoping maybe a tutorial could be done, though. I am still not too versed on things where I think tutorials are possible, but definitely something I would love to do in the future. And it's always 2 people max helping and the rest of us spawning nonsense or spewing nonsense. Sounds about right. And you think I haven't realized I just don't want to make a scene. And I appreciate you. How sweet, how sweet. So let's see here. That there. Our margin container, I'm wondering, maybe if we set the minimum size of the margin container, for example, our scale here, if we do 2, I think that's good. So we'll copy this guy. The scale is 2, so it's 40 wide by a, let's see, 40.5 by 14. If I make my margin container minimum size of 40.5, what was it, 15, I think? And okay, that makes sense. Thank you, double E. Of course. I hope they help. And hi, Ziggle Gengar. Possibly your Ziggy. Maybe Ziggy Gengar. Maybe. Perhaps. Welcome into stream. And if I butchered your name, please correct me if I'm wrong. As I was about to say Wong. And I feel like Godot UI isn't the trickiest thing, but there's also a lot of tutorials out there. Yeah, I've tried watching tutorials in the past, but it's always been super tricky. I'm glad I'm slowly starting to understand it. And thank you. You can call me Ziggy. I see. Getting Ziggy with it. How fun! And no, that's wrong. And unless it's a debate, then it feels like everyone takes a part in the convo. Unless it's a debate. Let's see. So our Oh, never mind. Position. I needed to see the size. There's position, there's rotation, there's scale. How do we see the size of it? That's what I wanted to know. We have offset animations, all of you guys here. I see scale, but I don't see sizing, which is odd, I'd say. And we like to keep it fresh. Oh boy, I'm trying my best not to go hip and cool. Layout transformation, custom minimum size. Okay, maybe if we up the guy here, if we set this guy to 100 for our custom minimum size, nothing happens. Oh, hold on, I know why. If we set our margin container custom minimum size for 100 for the Y, or no, let's just say 500 just to see it. I can expect it. It's always nice to hear it. Oh, there we are. Okay, so it seems to be the case that does change it. If we set this then to 100, let's see. That does a little bit less. I believe this should be 16 by 16 if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it's 20 by 20. That doesn't sound right. I think it might be 16 by 16. If it's 16 by 16, I guess it's going to be 32 by 32. If it's double the size. So 32 wide, 32 long, I think. And next up on Cosmin Banger Radio's Necrotype Cafe by MCEE. Oh boy. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll save the custom minimum size. I wonder now if we reset the position. Okay, still position doesn't want to work as it should, which is unfortunate, but I'm hoping that won't be too bad. We'll go ahead and give this button space controller more area. So if I go into our layout here, we go into container sizing. If I increase the stretch ratio, we should be able to increase it. I wonder though why this guy, yeah, he's not linked. So I wonder if there is a way. I thought I was doing it correctly. I don't think so though. Now that I'm looking at all of this together, I'm curious to see. I'm gonna guess that the margin container is this big now. Let's just double check and see. If we click on our margin container, yeah, notice how it got a little smaller. Interesting. Okay. So with that said, maybe I just have to Google it. How to link or how to assign position of, what would this be? This would be a node 2D. How to assign node 2D to a control node. Let me Google it and see. Let's see. Godot for control, or no, node 2D moves out of control nodes. There we are. And one time smart people are needed. What do you mean one time? All the time. As much help as I can get, I will happily accept. Let's see. In Godot 4, node 2D's objects move out of control because control nodes use anchors, containers, and margins, ignoring standard XY. To fix this, pair the node 2D under control node. For example, margin container. Use a canvas layer to separate UI from 2D game spaces, or set the node to the top 2D layer. I kinda get it, a smidge. The issue we're running into right now is that when I reset the position of this guy, what you'll notice is he's up there, which is really unfortunate. And I wonder if there is a way to modify it from underneath there. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think possibly it's because of the pivot point. Would that count? I know in this new Godot version, there's a way to change the pivot. So let's see. Is there a way? If I do click the change pivot, that would be the origin, I think. If we move it to like there, does that at all fix it? If I move that there and then I go ahead and reset the position? No, the position is not reset, unfortunately. We can slide it over and down. Interesting. Okay, that didn't work then. And that's the most tutorial-like tutorial I've ever heard. Easy. Until it's not, in which case, pain. Let's see here. That didn't work. Node 2D won't work in the same project. How to make a control node ignore the parent's rotation. I want to link the control node, or the sprite, node 2D. I don't know if there's a way to do it. We have done texture buttons in the past. Maybe we can make it a child of a panel container. Maybe that can work if I make you expand here. If we do that instead of our margin container here. So we do that, and there. If we then move our little guy to our panel container, reset the position. Nope. He still wants to be what he needs to be. So you know what? Maybe we allow him to be. He's not hurting anyone. If we just move this guy to about the center bit here, and then we can go ahead and remove our margin container. We just want to make sure this is the minimum size. So minimum size here, I don't know what number that is. If I remove this guy here, yeah, that's the issue, is that the sizing. And the music is doing the thing again? Oh, is it stuttering? Hold on, let me go ahead and mute that guy. I'll be muted for just 1 second here. Let's see. Audio hide show, And then if I go ahead and just enable this guy here, you should be able to hear me again. Is it better? Did that fix it? It seems to be sometimes the stuttering. If I just undo it and redo it. Hopefully it's good to go now. And how good from this front? Good, lovely. That's good that was a good fix. So let's see, our flavor sprite. Let us set our panel container. Let's set the minimum size to 32 by 32. I think that'll be our best bet. 32 by 32. And then we'll slide our sprite over a little bit more about here. There we go. And we can also make our panel guy here. Let's see. Theme override style flat box. I would want to clear the panel, and I don't know if there is a way to, well, there is a way to do that. I think I would just make it empty, and now we have it in its own thing. Or I think we can also make it, let's see, style box, empty, flat. I think if we modify that guy, and then we can also lower down the opacity, depending on what we want. But we'll keep it as like a, let's do maybe a blue color. Blue color could be fine. It's always turn it off and on again. Yeah, usually most tech issues are, have you tried turning it on and off again? Let's see, I'll slide you to about here, I think. So this is our flavor sprite. Hopefully, we're going to call this our, let's see, icon, container, C-O-N-T-I-N-E-R, container, and then we have a button space control. Let us now add a texture button. So texture button here. It's going to be a texture button. Our texture button now gets added. Again, we'll make sure that we set the anchor present to full rectangle so that we get the entirety of the space. Next up, we need to add the textures for our button. So if we open up this, we made some textures before. I'm just not sure if it's gonna work out. We'll see. If I go ahead and do, let's see, button, I think that's what I called it. B-U-T-T-O-N, buttone. Are you here? Yes, you are. Lovely. So we have our select button normal, which we'll set for our normal. And then we have our disabled. We'll go ahead and move it to disabled. Next up, we have our hover button, and that'll be for pressed, that'll be for hover, and it'll be also for focused. That'll be all of these guys here. Okay, with that said, we should be able to now save it. And what you'll notice right away is that this guy is super duper tiny, which is no good. And I have not figured out a consistent way to make it bigger. What I have been told before, and what has worked in the past, is, for example, making it the child of like a control node and making it bigger. The thing is, because this guy here is a small sprite, it's tricky. For now, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make another control guy here. So control guy here. And if we do this, I believe it should work out if I make it the child of that guy here. And then we make sure this guy is beneath it. We should now be able to change the scale. So if I go ahead and type in scale here, transform, I should be able to make it bigger, about, let's see, about maybe that big. And yeah, we can certainly say this is going to have to be really big and buttonies. And hi Crocs, welcome into stream, welcome in. This guy here needs to be about, I think, 8 in scale. Yeah, maybe 7. And the sprite itself right now at the moment, what size is it, I wonder? If 7's a scale. Okay, maybe I can make these a little bit bigger by default so we don't have to worry about this control guy. If I'm looking at this, and if we go into our button A sprite, show in file manager, let's just double check here. What's the sizing we're using currently? We just have to multiply it by 7. That's the hope at least. We have to make it, I think, what would it be? 700 bigger, I think? So let's see. If I open up A sprite and we click on that guy and that guy, it should bring us into the little text here. And then I'll go ahead and click on where we at. Draw here, you should be able to see it. We have that there, should be good to go. A sprite's a little bit too big, so if I make it a little bit smaller, here we are. Okay, so right now it's 46 by 400. What we need to do is multiply this by 7, I think, or it's either 7 or 700 to scale it up x7. So if I click on my sprite size here, we have right now 100%. Let's change this to 700, click OK. And then if I click save here, now we just need to export these back into Godot. Let's see how that works. If I click on file here, export, I'm just going to now have to export our, let's see, our select button. That's going to be this button here. So let's see, select, yes. Select is this one here, so I'll go ahead and save as. It's going to be, or no, hold on, wrong buttons. So many buttons to press. We'll go ahead and export this as select button. Then we can go ahead and say this is the disabled button, so I'll go ahead and export as. This is going to be disabled, so let's see, D-I-S-A-B-L-E-D, disabled. And hi, Disco, welcome to stream, and hold on. Oh, it just canceled it, but welcome in. Thank you for the 13 months, and that makes over a year. How sweet, and magic spells, oh my. Welcome in, and thank you again. I hope you've been well. let's see. We'll also export our disabled guy here, and then we'll also grab our normal. So I'll go ahead and do export as, and it's going to be select, and it's going to be normal, normal, and we'll click on export. Little ferret. I really do at some point need to add, well, the issue is I haven't drawn a ferret before. Might just have to do a ferret study, but I'd love to have more animal emotes. I've had ferrets in the past before, a total of 4, and they were quite cute. And I cast itching eyebrows. How dare you, Check? How dare? Let's see. I'll bring you back into programming here, and I'm hoping with the yay ferrets, yeah, they are adorable. I remember them quite fondly. Let's see. Now with this guy here, we have our button PNG. What's this guy here? We should have 46 by 8. Okay. This here, where were you exported to? File, export as. You were exported to our cafe book UI. I see. Well, we're in the book UI. However, if I go ahead and close you, does that give us? Oh, here we are. Select button. All of these guys here. And hydration. Sure. Can do it. Welcome in the stream, Chapel. Welcome in. I hope you had a lovely week. Hydration. Hydration done. And or worse, itching nose when your hands are occupied. Joke's on you. I can itch my nose with my palm. Welcome in though, Chapel. Welcome in. Let's see. We have now our button. So our select button here, this guy here. This guy's are the big one we want. We have disabled, which is not the one, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove you. We also have hover. That's also not as big as we want it. Let's see. Oh, that's why it's not select button. Hold on, I need to rename these again. All over again. Let's see. Let me just remove all of you. Yep, remove you. We don't need you. You're not supposed to be here. And had a solid week. Hope y'all's week has been great. It has indeedy. Didn't get UI stuff done. Well, technically, I did get UI stuff done, but just not the book that we're currently doing. I did some debug UI. So let's see. Dish flavor select normal underscore button underscore button. Oh, and before I forget as well, hi Queen Leah. Welcome back into the stream. Welcome back in. I'll go ahead and click on you here. Normal button. We'll go ahead and save. Then we'll go ahead and do export. Okay. Next up, again, I'll do file. I'll do export. We'll go ahead and set you to our, let's see, not normal button. You're going to be DISABLED. And wow, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that from Eris. And how are you doing today? I'm doing lovely. It's always a fun day when we get to do a little bit of programming. I'm running into an issue right now where I just don't have enough time to do it. And that's always such a shame. And oh, hold on. I'm also noticing that our hover button doesn't have the right color. Let me bring you back into draw here for a quick second. It's a shame, and I'm hoping at least soon, TM, I'll be able to dedicate more time. I initially had a goal of every day 1 hour of Necrotype Cafe, but I very quickly realized maybe that's not plausible. So I'm gonna see about maybe if we do one every 30 minutes every day. That might be a little bit more feasible with everything that's currently happening. So let's see. I'll go ahead and grab this color, and this is the color I want for our hover button. So I'll just fill that in, save it. There we go. And hopefully it's a good busy. Yeah, it's a good busy. And it's the case of there's a lot of things, and I haven't even gotten around. Another thing I want to do is just do more piano daily, but I nope, haven't been able to do that either. We'll do HOVER for our hover. Oh, nope, that's not supposed to be. There we are. Dish flavor hover button. There we go. And it should also be dish flavor disabled button. Hold on. Let's see. We'll go ahead and do export here, and we'll do dish flavor disabled, DISABLED, dish flavor disabled button. Okay, bring you back into programming again, and let's see. And oh boy, how ambitious. Yeah, that's what I realized. And this one, not so much, but the next two are a winter break. Oh, how fun! And sometimes stuff happens and you just can't get work done, and that's fine. Yeah. The good news is I have reached the point in developing where I realized after a few months, as I initially thought I could complete this game in about 4 months. It's been over a year. We're past the 4-month stage, so now it's the thing of I have no idea. The estimation of this goal I had in mind is clearly off point. So I'm just going to do things as they come, and those 30 minutes are going to snowball in 3 hours, won't they? Yeah, hopefully. That's the thing. If you're having a hard time getting started with something, sometimes just doing it for, and hold on, let's see, hover button, disable button. Here we are. Select normal button. Yep. Okay. The hope is that at least that by doing at least 5 minutes a day, by the time you sit down, do all of it, you should want to do it a little bit more. So it gets you started. You don't have to worry about doing too much at once. And you're 6 months late? Nah, I'm 6 months on time and counting. You don't want to rush perfection. Let's see. I'll go ahead and disable all of these guys here, and let's redo them. So we have here our disable button, or we'll go ahead and redo our disable button here. Next up, we have our focus button. So let's see, we can do our select normal. That's going to be our normal. And then we have our hover button. And that's going to be this button here. We have this button here. And we have one more button. You go, there you are, an 8. Has it been 8? Really? Hold on now. In 6 months, quality assurance updates. Launch will be bugless. So hold on now. Hold on. Those are some high expectations. My goodness. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and remove this from the control node. We should be able to just delete this guy. And I think you said 4 months, but it's been a year. Oh, yeah. No, that makes sense. Quick math. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I planned to do it by the end of last August, I think. Oh, I never could with time. Well, go ahead and I should be able to reset the scale if the scale has not been. Yes, lovely. Reset the scale here. We should then be able to also reset the size here, and also reset the position. Good, lovely. And if once that's done, now we set the ratio back to what it was. I wish I could make this centered. I don't know if we can. Can we do centered? Aha, look at that. That's pretty nice. Okay, so that will be our button, hopefully. A long button. Lots of O's, and surely this December, right? I make no promises. Now that I understand the capability of my actions. We'll go ahead and set this to a flavor button, so FLAVR, flavor, BUTTON, flavor button. Next up, what we'll do is now we need to add a text to go on top of this set button. So we'll go ahead and add a rich text label. Let's see here, rich text label. And this guy here is going to be, if I go ahead and I think set it on top, we'll set this to FLAVOR just so we can see it. And actually it's going to go underneath apparently. There you go, flavor. And we also need to remove scroll active. That's not a thing. We need to make sure that you can fit the content, I believe. We also need to make sure BB code is enabled should we need to use it. Another thing we need to do is also set this guy to full rectangle here. Next up, we also have to make sure that our alignment is set to center, and hopefully that'll create an even line. But not on what? On, off. We'll go ahead and save this guy. Let us add our, if I do a theme, I believe, we do UI theme here. We'll drag and drop it into our labels so that we get the label word, and maybe that's it. The wording here makes it look a little off-center, possibly, maybe that's an excuse. We'll go ahead and save this guy here. I believe that should be a good size. If we need to make it bigger, we can. We'll also set this to be flavor name text. So flavor, FLAVR, flavor name text, TEXT, flavor name text. Lovely. With that said, let's make sure this guy is working correctly. If I go ahead and remove all of these color rectangles, I'll delete them. And then if we go ahead and populate this guy, so we just set up to maybe 8. I see. Interesting, isn't it? Oh, never mind. Hold on. We need to do icon, each box, icon container. Oh, hold on. Where are we at? Parent flavor button. This guy. We have to duplicate this guy. Here we are. And we do a total of 10 of these guys here. Let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is what it will look like by the end of the game. Now the question is how legible this is. So I think we can get away with it. We might have to do a bit of separation between them, but all in all, I definitely think this is possible. A lot more possible than I first expected. The unfortunate bit is that it's not as big as I would have hoped, but that's okay. That's all right. The good news is that it fits. Whether or not it's going to be big or small, to be determined, but we'll see. Since we know that it fits now, though, we can go ahead and add the flavors. So if I go ahead and just grab, let's see, flavor button 10, and then we go to flavor button like 2 here, I should be able to select all of you, then click on delete, and delete all of you again. Lovely. Oh, that's important to know too, is that if I undo that, they fit, but if I go ahead and delete them, that's interesting. This guy stayed where he needed to until he didn't, which is odd, but it's working, so you know what, I'll take it. And actually, before we even continue, let me make a backup just to be on the safe side. So I'll go ahead and right here, let's see, started, button, redo. There we go, redo, just in case. This is a good stopping point if I break anything. It's gonna be a lot bigger in full screen game though. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, is that because it'll be bigger in a full screen, it's not too bad that it's not as big as it could be. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. So we'll go ahead and save this guy here, and then we'll go ahead now and delete all of our buttons. So button number 10 all the way to button number 2. There you are, goodbye. Save that guy there. Now that we have our button good to go, what we're going to do now is make it into its own branch. So let's see, new book scene. We need this to be a book UI scene, I believe. We have customer tab. We have pages, page selection button. That's what I wanted to do, page selection button. We'll go and save that there. I want to overwrite it, so we will. Page selection button. Now we can do, oh, page selection button. Oh no. I think I overwrote something I shouldn't have. But you know what, it's okay. I think for now, at the very least, this guy here is an entirely different thing, but it's good, it's fine. We'll make sure that these guys, and I'm wondering as well, why this guy isn't filled as much as it could be. And I'm curious to see if we just set these guys to be as filled as it can possibly be. So for example, here we set this guy to be expand, we set this guy to be expand, so we set all of these to expand. Does that at all change it? Expand here, we set you to be expand, so set you to expand here. Oh, you know what we forgot to do as well? We forgot to set a minimum sizing, just to be on the safe side too. Maybe move that there, we have you here for expand. Yeah, okay. Let's also set the minimum sizing then. I will click on you here, click on don't save, and then let's go back into here. We'll undo that, make sure this guy is what he is, zoom in a little bit. I want to make sure that this minimum sizing of our flavor button is good to go. Right now, the transformation is this big, and that's not what we need. So I'm going to duplicate this guy again, and let's just very quickly add all the 10 back and make sure that our minimum size is good to go. And that's a good place to back up in case if anything breaks. You jinxed it? Maybe, perhaps, per chance, right? But I have a backup, so that's good, right? The good news is that I'm already quality assured, no hazards here. We'll go ahead, and I just want to make sure we set the sizing. So this parent flavor button here is kind of the minimum size. It is 447 by 25. 25 is that guy there. So now we should be good to go. That guy there is going to be whatever sizing it needs to be, and I think that's good. So now let's make it its own scene. So I'll go back to 2, then we'll go to our 10 here, select all of you, delete 9 nodes, then we have this guy here. Go ahead and save you, and now we go ahead and make it into a scene. So let's see, save branches scene. Again, parent flavor button, new book scene. I see it deleted it. Gaia. Okay, what did I call it initially? I think we're just going to call it for now our flavor, F-L-A-V-O-R, flavor, S-E-L-E-C-T, flavor select, B-U-T-T-O-N, flavor select button. There we go. Okay, and in our flavor select button now, there we are. Yeah, it had to have a minimum size. That's why it appeared a little wonky. That's good. I figured it out. That's always nice. Now that we have this up, let's go to our parent flavor button. Now we should be able to modify the script. I have a script here already. If we do B-U-T-T-O-N, we worked on this yesterday, so I'm hoping we can just grab this and modify it from there. If we do page select button, add you there, we should now be able to do, oh, hold on, it needs to be flavor select button. So we do that actually, that one there. There we go. So in the script here, what we have is we have a flavor that we need and then an initialize button. We also have up here our page select button. Our page select button has a button. It needs to be attached to label name and label section name. Those are all the things we have. An actual progress in this economy? I tell you, once things are taught, and once I've gone through the tutorial or tutoring or something like that, I can usually pick it up. It's I learn best through doing, and once I understand something, it's just a matter of replication. So you better watch out. I'm excited. I'm glad I'm understanding this bit by bit. We're getting what we want at the pace we want, so I'm quite happy. So let's see here. Our parent flavor button, we need to have, if we click on this guy here, now we have flavor, label name, and button. We don't know our label name yet. We'll be modifying that label name, and you can see here, label selection name, that's going to be here. That's all good to go. We just need to have the specific flavor. That's good. That's fine. Next up, what we need is the button. So we're just going to drag and drop our button here. Flavor button. I can go ahead and click on you here, drag and drop. Now we have our button selected. Lovely. With that said, we should be good to go. This should work on its own, I think. Fingers crossed, we'll see. Oh, hold on. I know what we need to do. Not only do we need to have a flavor, we need to have our sprite. So I'm going to go ahead and select that guy, access his unique name, then drag and drop you over. You should be a var flavor sprite. On initialize, once we have our flavor set up, what we're going to do is we're going to do flavor sprite dot, and we should be able to set the set the sprite. I forget what command I used though, so let's see. If I click on you here, I think it is, it's set icon. Okay, let's go back into here. Flavor sprite dot set icon. So dot set underscore icon, set icon, and it's going to be advanced sprite. So advanced advanced sprite dot type, and it's going to be a type of flavor. And not only is it going to be type of flavor, then we're just going to slide in our flavor here. So flavor, there we are. So hopefully, if initialize is done correctly, it will set the sprites of whatever we need. Okay, and last but not least, let's see. If for whatever case, we need to have a way to have the question mark appear if it is a sprite we can't access. So how can we say that? What we can say is, if initialized, maybe we can have a variable called enabled or disable, something like that. In our page select button, I believe this is, initialize is here. Right now, this is its own, from what I remember, in functions at least, if you're taking overriding a function from a parent node, you can't add variables into it. That doesn't work, which is a-okay. If that is the case, what we're going to say is, if the section name or if the flavor is so-and-so, then say question mark. Maybe that's what we can do. There's a few things, and I've had to increase my volume 3 times by now, so I do believe that you're excited. Well, that's good. I can never tell if the microphone is too far or too close, though. I hope it's not blowing your ears out. That's always step number 1. What I'm wondering is, how should we set this data up, do you think? Should we set it so that the data does live behind here, you just can't see it? Or should we just say, if it's not enabled in this level, then set it to null? I think that might work out better. Just set it to null if it is not enabled. That way we don't get things popping up, possibly, maybe. Though, truth is, I would love it if, and this is definitely, I think, something that could be possibly implemented, I think it would be a shader, if anything. But imagine, while these things are hidden and you can't see them, you can see the icon outline of the object. So when you're looking at all the different things you can unlock, you can see it's in black. You don't know what it is, but it looks pretty cool. I think that could be fun. How to do it, I'm not sure, but I would definitely love to. So if it's the case that we definitely do need to have this information, it just needs to be set to null, what we can do is possibly say, under initialize, if it is disabled, we set the certain values to something different. I think that could work. I think that's possible. So if that's the case, what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our page section button. We're going to then have a bool for if it's enabled or, hold on. I think rather, let's have a bool here. So var called is_unlocked, is unlocked. We'll set it to a bool. We'll set it equal to true by default, is unlocked equal to true. With that said, we're under initialize. We're going to say, let's see, new _status, new status. It's also going to be a bool. And then what we'll say is under initialize here, we set our is unlocked. So is unlocked equals to new status. There we are. And if that's the case, now we have this bool to our ideas. So let's see, initialize there. Then what we can say is if, and we can also do is unlocked equals new status, And what I'm hoping to do here is if not unlocked, UNLOCKED, if not unlocked, show teaser, TASER, show teaser. That's what I want to do. And what I'm thinking is, we're going to need a few things. Step 1 is we're going to need a default look to this. Right now, how I have it set up is that if it's none, it's an entire black box. We don't want a black box. Instead, what I want to do is change the outline, make it into entirely black. How do we do this? I believe we just have to modulate it, which is to say we're going to take our flavor sprite and we just have to modulate. So if I go into here, first, let's set it to be just bitter, just by default. So if I do flavor sprite set, well, hold on, actually, never mind, this is fine. We should still be able to set the sprite icon. Yeah, never mind, okay. So if is unlocked, let's do a few things here. We're going to do if is unlocked, let's go ahead and set this here, our label select name. Another thing we can also do is do our label selection name text. Let's see. If it's unlocked, do we want to set it to none or question mark? I think this is fine. So we'll have this set. We'll then do this text equals, and then we'll say question mark for whatever could it be. And hi. Ooh, is it maybe seismic? Possibly. Welcome to the stream. And if I butchered that, please correct me if I'm wrong. But welcome in and hi. So let's see here. Is it Godot? Yes, indeed. This is Godot 4. So the latest version of Godot. And this is, I'm using GDScript. So I'm using Godot 4 and GDScript. I've been having a lot of fun with it. So let's see. We'll set it to say, if it is unlocked, set the name to this here. And actually, what I'm realizing as well is that I would have to try this twice. So I want to do this language a little bit differently. And it's like schmick, reminds me of schmeckbelock. Let's see. I am actually going to do if is unlocked. Let's see. If is unlocked, else. There we are. If it's not unlocked, we're going to lock it. I think that's good. We set that there, and then we're going to do this here. Now, I'm thinking, at least initially, we're going to do this here. So automatically, we set the sprite. That is demanded. If it is unlocked, then we're going to rename it. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to take our flavor sprite, so flavor sprite, and then we're going to do dot, and we're going to do, now the question is, it's self-modulate or modulate. If I click on this guy, the effect that we want to happen is when clicking it, if I go into our visibility here, I think it's self-modulate. If we change it to black, we should be able to do that. So I want to self-modulate it to this hex here. We'll go ahead and cancel this here, make sure the modulate's good to go. And cool font, looks like Minecraft. It is the Minecraft font. I'm a bit of a fan, and I found this what is it? Not a plugin, but a layout, and I like it a lot, and I'm glad you noticed. So let's see, flavor sprite dot self-modulate, and then we're going to set this equal to color, and then we're gonna go ahead and do color, oh, hold on, color, I think I didn't do the brackets, and then we just set the color here. Oh, hold on. We set the color here, we make sure that's cranked up. I believe this should work out. Yeah, okay, that entirely. That's good. So if it is unlocked, then we redo the name. And if it's not unlocked, then we're gonna hide the preview of what the item will look like. I think that's good. With that said, let's go ahead and then do that there, and save it. With that, good to go. We should be able to now test this guy and see if he does work out or not, so. Why don't we go ahead and give it a whirl? We'll go ahead and save this guy, save this here, and no, like Shemek. Oh, Schmick. Maybe like that instead? Though it does look like seismic. Maybe, possibly. And I did do that. Lovely. So now that we have these guys settled, our new book here good to go, what we need to say is we need to go through all of the flavors, and if they are included, well, actually, hold on. It's tricky. Okay, I got an idea. We're going to need to have a place to grab the flavor list box, and then instead of populating these guys here, I want to add them in the, what's it called? I want to add them in code. I think that would be easier to do than to make 10 guys here. So to add them in code, what we're going to need to do is, and this guy's also getting bigger. That's another reason why I want to at some point make this separated. The issue is I'm not sure how to separate the different sections, since this guy is responsible for the entirety of the book. So definitely a to-do, clean this up, make this shorter, but technically speaking, it's just for optimization. It's not hurting the program, so it'll stay up as it is at the moment. And we have print key code here. Let's see. These should not be as they are. We can modify this a little bit. What we can say is utility, since this is utility, that's not utility, utility. utility, utility dot print debug message. And then we can go ahead and say for our message, we're going to do, or actually, hold on, it's going to be actually utility dot print debug separator. And then it's going to be a message, and then we can say we're going to call it key code. So key codes, and then we'll go ahead and comma this. Then we'll set it to utility dot debug, so debug color dot title, I believe. Yes, and it's not hurting the program, it's only gonna hurt you. Yeah, right now this is easier for me to read than if it were separated. So until I start to struggle, until I start to feel the suffering pain, I'm gonna roll with it. We also need to add this little guy here for self. After that, we need to add the event menu and all of these guys here. So I'll go ahead and save this here. And then we'll go ahead and we have to do the different guys. So this is not going to be title. It's going to be instead, let's see, notify. So notify. And then it's also going to now be this guy here. So we'll go ahead and do a string here. String. And then we'll just make sure that this guy is set to this. So we have string here for you. And I believe I should just be able to modify the name. So we have menu up, down, left, and right. And print event debug. Why are you angry? Oh, I know why. Hold on. I need to grab all of these guys here, and they need to be in brackets. So I need to do str, you here, and then we need to add brackets here too. And how I'm doing multiple lines is I'm holding down alt when I click, and that makes for nice, easy things. We'll go ahead and select all these guys, and then we have up, we have down, we have then left, so let's see, left, and then we have right. So should be able to do that. Left and right, and right. However, what I am noticing is, this is a little tricky to read. This could be optimized, but I'm not going to do it for the very fact that it's not a requirement. But I will add a to-do. So let's see, T-O-D-O. To-do, make cleaner. Make cleaner. I will add it to do. That way I do know. There we go. And also, let's add it to do at the very top, just so I don't forget as well. Let's see here. Hashtag T-O-D-O to do. And possibly P-O-S-S-I, possibly make cleaner. See, C-L-E-A-N-E-R and D-S-E-P-E-R-A-T-E. Separate I-N-T-O-D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-T S-C-R-R-I-P-T-S. Separate into different scripts. There we are. I'll add that to do in there too. That way at least it exists. With that said, now let's check into our book here. And if everything has been done correctly, well, let's see. When we run our program, when we run our book, we have a function, a ready function. We get the level, we get the tabs, we get the page sections, we get the, what is it called? The signals. Then we assign the menu keys. And here's where I'm wondering, where do we do this guy at? Ah, I see. A set page sections. Lovely. Okay, well, set page sections. Right now, we're only doing these page areas here. So what we can say is set page sections. What I want to do, and I believe I do have this as a function, there should be a way to get current unlocked something something. I believe it's going to be cookbook dot. Let's see. Current unlocked. Does it show here? Show tab. Tab here. I'm going to guess it's going to be in, what is it called? The page something. It might be page section button, customer page left. Customer page left, yeah. This guy here, customer page left. This does all of the stats. So if we go into here, we have set values, customer equal to null, if house crest equals to null, you there, and we have update stats, update description, yep. Where are we setting your values, I'm wondering? If it's not customer page left, we need to go up, so I'm going to guess it's going to be the customer page itself. Customer page seen here. Customer page, how are you setting the data? You are doing it via dot set values. Got ya. Okay. Well then, on our customer page, we do dot set values, and then dot set values, if I remember correctly, let's see, level flavor, yeah. I'm wondering where, so if house crest, if customer, you and you, oh, never mind, it's not going to be customer page left, it's going to be customer page right. Okay, customer page, let's go into customer page right. Customer page right is the one where we have the unlocks. So this guy here is where we have everything that you can unlock for the different flavors. Yes, lovely. So we do flavor combos and then get cookbook flavor combos as array. So what I'm thinking is, what we can say is, many is's. We're going to copy this since it's needed, copy. And what I want to do is, for our new book here, what we're going to say is, and I'll actually type it out here too. We're going to add all flavors, F-L-A-V-R-S, add all flavors in game, add all flavors in game. And what I'm curious as well is if we could go to the cookbook flavors, so cookbook flavors, cookbook here, I'm hoping I do. Okay, we're going to remove these just because they don't have an image attached. We either remove them or we set them to null. You know what? Let's set them to null for now. I'm wondering if they're in the game, then they'll be disabled. So yeah, we'll remove these guys because they're not in the game at the moment. Yeah, none and bitter. We don't include none because none's not a part. So there's a few things we have to do. Not too much. Let me get some water. And actually, it's about ad break time too. So we'll go ahead and do those guys while I'm getting some wet here. Water's all good to go. With that said, it have to go. Good luck with making the buttons click. Thank you, Jack. Thank you. I hope you have a lovely time. Do whatever it is you get up to. Let me go ahead and clear my nose to give me un momento here. 1 second. Alright, we should be good to go. Nose is cleared, get the sanitizer here, and then let's go ahead and do some neck stretches since it is time for that as well. We'll start off by going to the left here a little bit, hold it for a moment or so, and then we'll go to the right a little bit here, again, hold it for a moment or so, and then we'll go back a little bit. That one's quite nice. I do enjoy that one. Now that one's quite comfy this time around. And then a little bit forward too. Holding these for really, it should be about a minute, but now it is time for that. We only get 3 minutes. You can also go left here, and again, you can go down about there. That is a nice stretch, I will admit. That does feel nice. A little left here, and then a little right here, and then over to the left again, and down. There we are. Okay, and I'm wondering, it's right now February 13th. Yeah. I'm hoping, because I believe, I thought there were 31 days in February. There's 28. I forgot. This is the February out of the year, or out of recent years, where it's a perfect calendar. I don't know if we'll ever get another February like this for a long time, but it's quite neat. So let's see. February will be over in about 2 months. Do I think I could get the UI done by 2 months? Possibly. Not guaranteed, granted that the UI is still taking some time, but we're 1 out of 4 done with the UI. The next step, once UI has been completed, is to go back and do the tutorial. And truthfully, the good news is there won't be a lot left for the demo, for the MVP, which will be exciting. As once we finish up doing the UI outline, then we have to work on the tutorial. Once the tutorial is done, then we'll work on adding the shop. Once the shop has been added, and if we can at least, then we'll go ahead and add the rest of the, redo the tutorial again, and then we'll add in the extra bits, the flesh it out a little bit more. And hydration, sure, can do. Hydration, Hydration has been completed. Thank you for that redeem, Chapel. Thank you. Yeah, I'm surprised. The thing is, we're going at a lot of a faster pace and sounds like a busy schedule. Yeah, granted, I wouldn't say busy just because it's things of needing to get done, but the estimated time, I don't have an ETA. Since I realized what I think is what time I think it's going to need, it probably needs quadruple it. So now I just have a roadmap with goals, and just when you get here, you get here. Welcome back from the ad break, though. Welcome back in. Shall we continue? Let's see. We were working on figuring out how to remove or add in the flavors. If the flavor is currently not in the game, that's the issue. Right now, I only have certain animations for the flavors that are enabled, and given that is the case, because I don't have all 10 here, it's tricky. We have bittersweet and memory unlocked, but we don't have smoky, salty, and floral. And because we don't have these guys, it's hard in the sense of if I go into let's see. Well, I guess maybe we can check for unlocked flavors or flavors in game. How about that? Flavors in game. I think that's a good thing to do. We can have flavors here as a whole of what flavors are possible, but we can have implemented flavors. I think that's a good trade-off. So what I'll go ahead and do is I'll do var, and we'll actually do it below here because I think that's a little bit easier. We'll do a var, and we'll call it implemented, implemented, and then we'll go ahead and say implement _flavors, implemented flavors. And I'm wondering as well, can you do a constant, what is it called? Constant dictionary? Can I do implemented implemented _flavors, and we're going to make this an array of flavor, array of flavor, like this here. There you go, array of flavor. And if I do const, does that work? I think it might. Yep, expected initializer, got ya. So we'll go and do enter the brackets, and could not find type flavor in the current, hold on. It has to be big flavor, flavor array, there we go. Okay, so implemented flavors. Currently in the game, the flavors that are implemented are bitter, so we'll do flavor.bitter. Then we can add flavor.sweet, and we can also do flavor.memory. There we are. These are the current flavors that have, while they might all be active during the level, these are the flavors that have been established. They have assets for them, so to speak. These guys will be added. They're here so I don't forget them, but they're not in the game quite yet. So that said, now that we have this const, I think that'll make it a little bit easier to know what to do. Let's go back into our book here. For our set pages section, I think what we're going to do is outsource this function. That might be the best case scenario. That way we don't have to worry about adding more. We could add like a script that manages it. So what I'm thinking is, what we'll do is we will do our flavor box here. Let's go ahead and add a script. And hi Beatus, welcome to stream, welcome in, and welcome in too, Preston. Hi. And can you buy a new flavor for only $4.99 per flavor? In this economy, the good news is that you don't have to buy anything since everyone here is rich. The currency in this game, because everyone's already wealthy in cash, is to be wealthy in knowledge. So whenever someone pays for their food, they pay in study notes, since the idea is that you are assigned a role at birth. If you're born a necromancer, you can only be a necromancer. Hence why the idea is going against the grain and finding your own path, since Gabby wants to be a chef instead of a necromancer. So the hope is that since learning other magic is forbidden, in this cafe, everyone can learn different types of magic. So when you serve a customer, the customer will give you their study notes so Gabby can continuously add to her cookbook. Hence why, as you go along in the game, you'll get more flavors since you get the study notes of different types of students. So let's see here. Our VBox flavor, we'll go ahead and add a script, attach a script. We're going to call this, let's see. We're going to call it flavor, F-L-A-V-R, flavor, actually, hold on. I will call it flavor, F-L-A-V-R, flavor, button underscore M-A-N-A-G-R, flavor button manager. We're going to then create you. And with that said, we can then say, and I wonder if we can just do self.child. That might work out. We're going to go ahead then and move these guys over a smidge. So what we'll say is, and actually, hold on, we'll add a function, function. We're going to do function underscore INITINALIZE, initialize. We're going to set this function to a void. Wrong direction. It's the arrow here and then the void here. Void and set it to pass. After that, since we're using it out of the function, we don't do the underscore there. We'll then go back into our new book here. And what we can say is, I'll remove you here, set page sections. What we'll say is, set page sections, we're going to have, and actually, since set page sections is here, we don't even need that. We can just say, we can say our manager, and what do we call our manager? Oh, there's so many managers, hold on. Flavor, flavor. Oh, you know what I just realized as well? No, hold on. Flavor combo info panel? Is that what you are? Flavor combo info panel. Flavor list panel. That's what you are. Flavor list panel. Flavor FLAVR, VBox flavor list. Here we are. VBox flavor list. And then we can do dot initialize. INITINALIZE. Dot initialize. There we go. Save that there. It'll initialize. And we bring all of our guys here now. This is where we'll be populating all of them. I think that might be the easiest. We'll go ahead and remove this guy, paste in what we already have. And then what we'll go ahead and do is we can just do, let's see, get children. Yeah, we'll just comment you out for now. We'll need you a little bit later. We'll go ahead and pass. What we can say is we're going to need a scene for the buttons. So I can do, I think it's this. I think it would be preload, P-R-E-L-O-D, preload that. Hold on, how do I preload? Let's see, I can just quickly go, I think it would be into debug. I think debug's the one I recently used, the debug data container. And then we have debug screen GD. We do var and then preload here. Okay, so in our guy, let's see, new book page selection button, flavor manager button. Yeah, okay. Let's do var blank preload. So it's going to be var, and then it's going to be flavor underscore button, page flavor button, flavor page button. I think that's better. Flavor FLAVR, flavor underscore PAGE underscore BUTTON. Definitely going to have to redo these. Flavor page select button. That's a little bit better. Flavor page select 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 button. I like that naming better. Let's redo these just so I don't get confused. Flavor button manager. Let's see. We're going to rename you as well. You're going to be flavor page select button manager. So flavor page selection manager. Flavor page, PAGE underscore SELECTION. I like that a lot better. Flavor page selection manager. Copy you here. You're also going to be renamed to here. So let's see, rename you, rename. Let's set you to there. And then we can also do you here. So we're going to do, oh no, you would not be that. Flavor page, just making sure. Yeah, this is a flavor select button. Hold on. Let's see. Page flavor select button. We'll make sure that you're renamed us. I did the renaming wrong, so redo. You're going to be renamed. You're going to be flavor FLAVR underscore SELECT underscore BUTTON. Flavor select button. And let me just double check. This script here is for, yeah, our flavor select button. And then this guy here is for this guy. Parent, let's see. Flavor select manager. That guy there. That's this. Yep. Okay. And then we have our script. So var page select button. We have our parent flavor button. We can also call this our flavor FLAVR flavor. What do we say? Flavor page select button. Flavor PAGE SELECT BUTTON. Flavor page select button. Save that guy there. And then we can say this is going to be a flavor. Or no, right. Var page you there. I then do equals preload. and then we go ahead and copy our scene. So it's going to be the scene. I copy the UID, go ahead and do the 2 brackets, and then paste that into there. That'll give us the UID. So anytime we want to make a new button, we would have to use this guy. Back into our book here, what we want to do, and let me write this out too, that might make it a little bit easier. First, we want to get a list or go through. And do you find yourself narrating what you do by accident IRL? Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm a very forgetful person in nature, Preston. So what I've noticed is that since I forget a lot, saying things aloud helps me, as there will be times where I walk into a room and then forget why I entered. So it'll be like, what am I doing? Or it'll be a thing, okay, I'm about to go into the kitchen to get some toast. Saying them aloud helps me remember a little bit easier than if I just mentally tried to save everything. So let's see. Go through, THROGGH, go through AVA, oh, how do you spell available? AVAILABLE, AVAILABLE. That looks right, but let me just check. Let's see, AVAILABLE, available. Nice, thank you. Available, yes, that is how you spell it. Lovely. Okay, go through available flavors, FLAVORS. Go through available flavors. That is the thing we need to do. Once we go through the available flavors, we need to check and see. And the rubber ducky method, but for why you went into the kitchen? Yeah, that's a fair point, yeah. One reason I wanted to start streaming was because of the rubber ducky method. It's it makes it easier. I do find myself understanding more when I can say what I'm thinking aloud. And let's see here. So go through available flavors, compared to current unlocked UNLOCKED, unlocked flavors, FLAVORS, compared to current unlocked flavors. Yes, indeed. And I wonder as well, we should do it all at once. I don't think we should go through, add all of them, and then say unlocked or locked. I think this is okay. So we go through available flavors compared to current unlocked flavors, and then we go ahead and create for each. So create, CREATE, create for each, EACH. With that said, what we need to do first is grab our available flavors and current unlocked flavors. So what we'll say is var, and we'll do LEVEL level underscore FLAVORS, level flavors. It's going to be an array of flavors. So we'll go ahead and say array. We'll say flavor, FLAVOR. Oh, it also needs to be cookbook dot flavor. So COOKBOOK, cookbook dot flavor, an array of cookbook dot flavor. And then it's going to equal cookbook dot, and then we need to do get flavor combos as array. This should get us, I believe, and cannot assign variable. Oh, flavor combos. Ooh, never mind. What we then need to do is do cookbook dot current level, or I think it's like current level dot current level, and then we need to do dot, and then we say flavors, level flavors. These are all of the flavors currently available in the level. With that said, now we have our level or flavors that are available to us. That would be our cookbook dot. Let's see, cookbook dot. And it's going to be our available flavors, implemented flavors. This guy here. So what we need to do is we need to go through all of our implemented flavors and check to see if they're inside of our level flavors. So that's to say, create for each. For flavor in cookbook.implemented flavors. So we'll go ahead and paste that there. We're going to do a few things. Cookbook.implemented flavors. First, we say a var of is underscore UNLOCKED. Var is unlocked. It's going to be a bool, and the bool is going to equal if level flavors dot has flavor, FLAVOR. So if the flavor is in level flavors, then we know for certain we can add it. If it's not in our level flavors, then that just means we set it to not unlocked. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to say tab here. We want to do now is we want to do var new button, and we're going to equal it to a flavor page select button. So flavor select button here, flavor select button, and it's going to equal a no, I forget. Do we just do new? This here dot new. Let me double check. If we go into our debug, I should have the code here somewhere. Let's see. I believe it's at the bottom. Yeah, it's going to be a new and then dot instantiate. I see. Okay. So let's go back to our button here. It's going to be, let's see you here. And it's going to be this dot instantiate. So we make up the button. Next up, we're going to do, what is it? Get child, set child. I believe we might just have to do dot self. We'll go back and reference our old code again. It's going to be dot add child. Got ya. Okay, but we don't need to do dot add since this is a child that we need. Let's go back into our page here, and it's going to be add child, add underscore child, add child, and it's going to be the new button, bottom. Let's see, it needs to be button. There you are. The M is not needed there. Next up, once we add it as a child, a new button, needs to be an N. There you are. Once we add it as a new button, we have our current flavor. So next up, what I do is do new button dot, and we'll go ahead and do, I believe it's going to be instantiate if I'm not, yes, instantiate. However, initialize. I see, yeah, that's not right. That's incorrect. We also need to set the flavor. Initialize, new status, and flavor. We're also going to need the flavor. Oh boy. And button. Exactly, button. We need to do set flavor and initialize here. I see. Okay, hold on. Function for set flavor under set underscore flavor. Set flavor. This guy needs to go out. This initialize also doesn't need to be that underscore. So let's go back into our page select button. Initialize not an underscore since we use it out of the function. Let's go back into our flavor select button. So this guy here. And with that, we need to go into this one here. We set flavor. We go ahead and have a new flavor. So new underscore flavor. New flavor cookbook COOK cookbook.flavor flavor. Let's go ahead then do the arrow and then void and then do that there. And then we just set new flavor. So flavor is going to equal new flavor. New flavor. There we are. I had wished we could do it in the initialize, but considering initialize is a shared function or is an inherited function from the page selection buttons, not possible. So maybe possibly we make this its own function that we use or something else. But for now, we'll keep it like this. There's no need to fuss about it. With that said, now let's go back into this guy here. We'll go ahead and do new button dot set flavor. So set flavor, and we're going to set it to flavor. So set flavor, and after that, we set our initialize equal to if it's unlocked. And I believe if that is done correctly, that should be everything we need. We initialize it and we set the flavor. And if it is unlocked, then we have it hidden. If not, then we don't. So let's see if this does work, shall we? We'll go ahead and move all of these guys here, save it. Lastly, we need to make sure this is working. I believe it is. In our cookbook, when we do initialize, yes, we do dot initialize. And just double checking here, our V flavor guy here. That's this guy here. Where is he at up here? Now, granted, I can't see him. That's no good. That's okay. We go into the script here, the dot initialize. Yes, okay. So dot initialize, move all of you here, do that there, and we don't need you either. So compare to current unlocked flavors. And hold on. Oh, we're good to go. Lovely. Okay. With that said, we can also remove you here. And create for each. We also don't need to have you. I think it's self-explanatory. Okay. Save all of you. Let's see if this works first try. Fingers crossed. In the program, not in the game. And how often do you need to save the program? Oh, well, the thing is, I usually do them after big or small changes, depending on what it is. If I have a lot of small changes, then I save little. Well, let me rephrase that. I save, well, do you mean save or backup? If you mean save, I save practically maybe every minute. My body's just gotten good at automatically clicking Control S every so often. If you mean making a backup, I usually make backups after big changes, but if it's a lot of small changes, then I'll do it maybe after 5 small changes. But the small changes usually make up a big change, so it depends on the thing. For example, I saved this before we started modifying it, and the reason why I'm not saving it again, despite the fact that we could go back a few levels or a few saves before, is because right now I haven't felt like a thing of, all right, this is good to go. When I save it, I do my best to think, okay, I'm locking this in. I'm not locking anything in yet, so no need to save. Yeah, that's the what's the word I'm looking for? That's how I've been thinking, or how I've been doing it. Maybe that's a little bit better. With that said, we'll go ahead and save, and what do we get? Why are you angry? Oh, new button. No longer is there an underscore initialize. Yes, that makes sense. That makes 100% sense. You're good to go, button. With that said, now why are we angry? Our label selection name dot text. Interesting. If we go into our page button here, and okay, that makes sense. Good, that's nice to hear. It's saying this guy is null, I think because we didn't initialize it. So if we go back into our button scene here, we have our label name, our label button. Yeah, okay, hold on. Let's see. Our page selection button, you here. Let's do an @export var label selection name here. I don't like that. That feels a little odd. And do we have a page selection button? Let's see, page selection, page SEL selection button. Yes, we do have a button scene. Gaia. In that case, that's this guy here, page selection button scene. That's this here, I believe. And if we open up you here, yeah, that's this guy here. And I believe you're old. If we do, this is the page selection, and then we had a flavor selection. What I wanted to do is our parent flavor button. Yeah, all these guys are old, very old, which is fine and okay. I'll just attach this here and label name button name. Yes, yes. So page selection button has the button and label. If I click on you here, we have button and label. Yes, we are going to need the label node. So let's see, label name. I'm thinking we can do at export var. Oh, hold on, that's not at export. We do at export. export export var, and we're going to set it to our label label, and then it's going to be a rich text. So rich text, RICH, rich text label. There we are. Rich text effecto. We need a rich text label, label. There we are. And that's a nice looking burger bun, bottom bun, of course. Oh no, we don't serve burgers here. Burgers are now up on the menu. Let's see, label selection name. What we do here now is say, you here, we remove label selection name because that didn't like that labels out text. There we are. That feels nicer. Now let's go back into our flavor guy here. We need to look into our flavor page. So let's see, flavor button. We have select button here. Is that it? No. What are you? What are you? have I ever seen you before? Flavor select button. I don't know. I'm just going to close you because I don't know where you came from. We'll close you here just so we can keep things a little bit clean. And then here we are, flavor select button. Now we have a label. We can go ahead and drag and drop our label. So flavor, name, text. There we are. And in this code, let's just double check here. Is there anything we need? Yes. Label selection name. No longer do we need that. We just grabbed a label. Whatever the label is. We already set the label. Now let's try to run it. Hopefully, finger crossed. Let's see if running it. Oh, wrong thing. Hold on. We need to go into our new book. Okay, now running it. Good news is it didn't crash though, but we have to populate the information. So it didn't break. That's good news. That's good news. Let me click on you here for Godot, then click on you here again. Okay, so are you excited? So we have our characters here. We have the Necromancer, Medimancer. All of these guys are good to go. Let's go out of this guy here. All right, next screen. We good? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's neat. The icons aren't working properly, and I would like it if we could center it, but it is working. The icons are just off, but we have all the flavors. Oh, you know what? We also need to do like if it's disabled. That's another thing we would have to add. All in all, though, it's working, and the icons are just a little funny looking because of the distance. So how can we do that? How can we modify it so that it takes up as minimum space as possible? Maybe we could say shrink. Maybe that could work if we say shrink for the box itself. So if we go back to our page select button, it would either be make the button as big as possible or make it as small as possible. If we set our flavor button from layout to instead, let's see, container, and we set it to shrink center, so instead of expand, we do shrink here and here, would that work? If we click save here, and then we go into save, we go into new button here, and then we go into, or new book, and then we go, yeah, that did make it smaller. Let's see, click on play here. Does that work? If I click on you there, we then go to the next page here, next page. Yeah, that did work. Oh, okay, good, lovely. They're now shrinking as they should be. Granted, it's a shame that they're not at the very top, but they are functional, which is good to see. That's wonderful. And you can see as well, the memory flavor has been hidden because it isn't unlocked. And what we can say as well is, say for example, the sweet flavor isn't unlocked. Well, then all we have to do is go into our book here, and whenever we modify the levels, we just say, okay, the only flavor unlocked in here is bitter. Bitter is the only flavor. And if we run it again, we should now see only the flavor of, and oh, hold on. I also need to delete, let's see here. We need to delete one of these guys. We need to delete inherent flavor button. Delete you. You're not a thing. Save you. Okay. And then run you. This should work. Hopefully. We should only see the bitter button. The bitter button unlocked. And we get, yes, look at that. Bitter's now the only one that's unlocked and that you can access. Lovely, lovely. Good. What that means now is that we just have to worry about selecting the buttons now. That's the tricky part. And to answer that, and why do you want them to all be small instead of taking up more space? Could you elaborate what you mean, Preston? Do you mean going from side to side in the screen, or do you mean being wider? If you mean being wider, it could be. The thing is, this is already going to be really big, which is nice. There's a total of 10 that are going to fill the page. What I was hoping was, if we go back into here, for example, and I hide our color rectangle here, I also hide this color rectangle here. If we hide these two, it should hopefully make it a little bit easier to see what's going on in the overall idea. If I hide that, we go into our flavor box here. We can also hide the guy here. Oh, never mind, we can't because that is a big guy. So if we just hide the visibility, only to self-modulate, I believe. Yes, it's not affect the children. We just lower the modulation so we can see everything again. If I go ahead and click on play now, this should be a little bit cleaner and hopefully give you an idea. Though, granted, I don't know how the look will be. So let's see, we'll slide over. Now we're on this page, and now we're on this page. And actually, did I save it? Hold on. We have the white there. The white's still visible. If we go back into our flavor select button here, yeah, the white is still visible. Hold on, flavor select page, we can hide you. We can also hide you. There we go. Good. Okay. It doesn't affect the thing there too. And actually, hello, gorgeous. Hi, Toak. Welcome into stream. Welcome in. And then what we can do is also have our color rectangle here, not color rectangle, our icon container. Let's make sure our icon container styles here, flat there. Let's set the visibility also to just nothing. So alpha 0. And now if we save it, hopefully it looks a little nicer. Let's go back into our book here, click on our sing guy, and we get a no animation for a loyal servant. Well, the thing is, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the day, it seems to be, when it comes to Twitch. If we slide on over here, this is what it will look like. Granted, I hope to make it a little bit bigger, but this is the idea at the moment. There's currently 3 you can unlock. The bad news is that the colors aren't good. We need to modify this a little bit. You can't tell when you're selecting it. I made the dark color the non-selection, so actually this has to be the page color. The page color and then the dark color. Those are the 2. Hold on. let me change the colors a little bit. And it depends if it is not me who follows. Well, people don't usually follow multiple times to act. That's the thing. You've got that marker down on lock. Let's see, close you there, don't save. Go ahead and do file new here, go ahead and do new here, paste you there. And I'll just quickly modify the colors. So for example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in actually this to be the color that is not hovered. So let's see, hover color is going to be that color. Oh, no, normal color. Normal color is going to be this color here. I can go ahead and save it, and I should be able to do file, export, and this is going to be export as, and it's going to be dish flavor labeled disable. Nope, this needs to be dish flavored normal. Let me just double check the name. Dish flavor select normal, yeah. Let me rename you, just off the bat. We're going to name you to dish flavor normal button. There we go, dish flavor normal. There we go, and I copy you. You should be able to save you here. You should work on your own. Save that, and then go back to here. This is going to be dish flavor normal button, export there. And then we're going to need another color for our dish flavor hover. We'll make this the highlight since it's like the page. So hover button is actually going to be this bright color. And then we'll go ahead and export here, export there, and it's going to be our hover. So let's see, normal and hover, H-O-V-E-R. And oh nice, the dishes are edible too. And why wouldn't you want the flavors to fill the, oh, I did read that. And why wouldn't you want the flavors to fill the page and get smaller as you get more? I don't get that either, Preston. And the dishes are edible too. All dishes will hopefully be edible. That's the hope, at least. Let's see. Flavor that there. Okay. Now, if we go back into this here, the icon should be different. We have our hover button. Oh, never mind. I take it back. Something's off about these 2. What is it? Dish flavort. I see. Flavort. We'll go ahead and remove you there. We should have 3 buttons. Let's go back into our flavor select button here. Go back into you here. Make sure our buttons are good to go. So in our flavor button here, we have textures. We can go ahead and remove our normal here. Normal is going to be normal here. There we are. Normal. And then we have our pressed and so on and so forth. So we should be good. And oh, hold on. Are you the right size? This is what size? Will you tell me? Or do I have to guess? This needs to be exported at or changed to the size. I think it's okay. This is just super tiny compared to everything else. Pressed, hovered, and focused, for example, looks a little bit off. If we go ahead and do hover here, do you change back to the regular size? Okay, good. I'm sorry I don't know how to explain it at the moment. No worries at all. I know when typing out in text, it's very tricky to get your points across sometimes, so no worries at all. We'll go ahead and do focus as well as that one there. Okay, now we can see the buttons. That was the hope. Go ahead and save this guy here, close it, save it. So, with that said, few other things. Let's see. Oh, wrong guy to do. Oh, no, hold your horses. Let's go back into this one here. It's so nice that things are working out slowly but surely. So, we have our book, we have the buttons, we have the bidder, we have the other 2, and does hand gestures to help explain? Yeah, I understand that one too. Let's see, we have bidder and then we have the other 2. Next up, what we need to do is have the ability to swap between these. So the idea is that when we are in this chapter, we're able to hover up and down and select. And does that help? Surely it does. Surely. Let's see. Close this guy here. So what we need to say is once we swap over to that tab. Now, question is, when we're on the tab, we should have to go into the enter. I think, yeah, that makes sense. We can have a page for when nothing's selected. I like that idea. Yeah, okay, good. So what we'll do is, if none of the pages are selected, we'll have like a guy off to the side that says, hey, this is the cake. Just a small description of the cake and a big icon or something of the sorts. And then as you go up and down, I do like that. Okay, so with that said, things are working, which means we do another backup. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, let's see, page, flavor, F-L-A-V-O-R, flavor, S-C-L-E-C-T, flavor select, B-U-T-T-O-N, flavor select button, visible, look, done. Flavor select button, look, done. There we are. Gonna go ahead and commit and sync and push. With that said, we move on. And I'm thinking, next up, now we're kind of back to the place we were initially, weren't we? And the idea that I forget the word, the buttons didn't look quite right. So we updated those. Now we're actually, that thing should have been changed to be, instead of linking, recreating. But we're done with that now, so no need to fix it. We'll go back into our new book here. Once we do that, what we need to say is the first child is how can we say this? Yeah, the first child of the tabs is the one that should be unlocked. So what we can say is, after we do flavor list initialize, we can then link up the first child to our options chapter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do our dish chapter, so dish chapter dot, and then we're going to say dish chapter dot, I believe, what are you going to be? Page something? Page list has page sections, first page select button. There we are. Dish chapter dot first page selection button equals, and then we're going to set it equal to our VBox dot get child list, so get underscore child, and then we're going to set it to the first index, get child. It sets the first index, so whatever the top file or whatever the top flavor is the one we do. And then let's see, just checking here again, our dish, our page, and our first page selection button all good to go. Lovely. That's all good. With that said, now we need to see how to have it selected when the page has been entered. That's the next thing to do. What we're looking to see, if I go back into our run page here and I click on that button there, and hold up, let me turn on the heater here. It's getting a little cold. Let's see. I go there, I then go to the next button here. What I want to happen is when we enter the page, so when I press tab, I want to, I don't think it did it. A tab, F select, I see, Gaia, and up and, it already works automatically. Never mind. Gaia, okay, I take it back. Oh, that's super duper neat. Okay, I thought it didn't work. No, it did. And then we go tab to exit out of it, slide, and then we go select with F, and then we can, oh wow! Here, I thought we'd have to do some work. We already did it. My goodness, how nice. What a pleasant surprise. Pass me actually helped for once. Well then, we have these selections, so you can see the different guys. That's what we wanted. We want, now that these guys are enabled, for the right side of the page, what we're going to have is show all the different cakes that you can unlock, or whatever dish it is. Next up, what we need to do is allow this page to be whatever it's selected to be. We also need to add a small description to it, so that shouldn't be too bad. Let's see. Anything else? No, I think we're good. Oh, that's so nice. What a twist, what a surprise. We'll go ahead and close this guy then, and we'll go ahead, and now what we need to do is we need to add all the available. Listen, you did it! Game is complete! Done! Easy! So I'm wondering as well, we can show the unlocked dishes, but technically speaking, we can't show the dishes you get as the game progresses. So I'm thinking it's okay to not have an unlock of, woo, what could it be? Or I guess you could, right? What you could do is have, again, like a blank screen to say what is what at the moment. So, for example, while you might not have the pyromancers unlocked, you can kind of get a little bit of a sneak peek of what it'll be. And then when it unlocks, it'll be all cool and you can have an animation going on. I can see that being the case where it's not locked per se, it's just you can't see what's going on. I do like that idea. So, what are we doing now? Now that our buttons are working, actually, the buttons are already linked, which is so nice. We need to make an area for all of the buttons, or all of the, all of the buttons, all of the available guys. So let's see. what we're going to do now that this guy is finished, all good to go, let's start off by just making sure that this page, whatever page we're working on, it functions properly. So what you can see here is that we have the flavor list, and then we have our paragraph area, all of those guys good to go. What we need to do is add the pages. That's the next step. Right now, this is a dish page, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We just don't have it as a custom page. Yeah, we have the dish info, but we don't have dish left page. I think, let me just double check. If I type in left here, we do, let's see, hold on. I type in, what is it? Left. Type in left. Let's see, flavor, okay. Left page, does that work? Left page, customer left page. Yeah, we don't have a dish left page at the moment. Though, I do question how we can do this, because the unfortunate thing is that this page might have to work differently than the customer. Or yeah, than the customer, because, and let me go to concepts to hopefully make this make a little more sense if we go into concepts here. The thing is that, and I'm not sure how we should structure this, so this is a brainstorming at the moment. If I click on you here, click on you here. Okay, so the idea was, we had a left page, so this is page, left page, and then we had a right page, so this is the right page. We had a left page and right page. For our customer, the pages were different every time. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. We'll say, yeah, different information for both. So I'll go ahead and shrink you a little bit here, and then we'll say customer. So customer, customer. The customer had a different page each time. You had the profile picture, you then had some information to fill in, some like those guys here. So you had a blah, 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 and then you had like some stats. Let's see, we can add some lines here for the stats, and then there was more information. So then more information here. This is all unique information that we needed. And there's like a bit here and a bit here. And then we had the different areas for all of the things you could unlock. So we'll just do a little box here for the unlock screen. That was the customer. The issue we're running into, and have to press Control F3 and page down to go to the next page. Easy. You know, granted that this is a typing game, the goal is to make sure that the game can be played entirely through keyboard. Though I don't know if adding complicated button combinations would fit. They would be quite funny though. Like, it could add some charm. Fair enough, it could add some charm. The difference is, nope, I completely forgot as well. We need to add a little bit of a title and a page bottom. So let's do that there, that there, that there. Okay, there we go. So we'll do this here, and I think as well what I'm going to do, we have 1 and 2 here, and then we have an icon here. Well, that doesn't get an icon. We also get the title. And then what I'm going to do is everything that changes is here, and I'll set it to the color of purple. So everything that changes for our customer pages is in purple. Everything that doesn't change is in green. So these are always changing depending on what page you have selected. That's how our customer pages work. The issue I'm running into is that for our dish page, so I'll go ahead and do D-I-S-H. For our dishes page, it works a little bit differently. It works a little bit awkwardly in the sense that the things that change each time. So the things that change versus the thing that stays the same. Each time, nope, I forget. These are the things that change. These are the things that stay the same. Okay, let me rephrase that. Let me also erase, hold on. Can I make the eraser a little smaller? Make you a little bit smaller. Okay, I meant to say that all of this actually changes. So erase that here. All of it changes. The name of the customer, the number at the bottom also changes. So yeah, all of it changes. We have 1 and 2, and then we have the name here. And yeah, all of it changes. However, for our dish, it works out a little bit differently in the sense that the title of the dish is always different. So we have the dish title, we have the little icon for the dish here, we have the little icon here, we have the little number associated with the page here. We then also have all the dishes you can get. So I'll just copy all of this over again, the different options you can select. But then where we run into the issue is that while all of these are different, what stays the same is the selection of flavors. So it makes me wonder if instead of doing an entirely different page and each of these buttons are linked differently, as I don't like the idea of that. I don't like having the same exact buttons for all of the pages. But the customer is in green, it makes it impossible to change if you only have one customer. Oh, okay. You know what? Fair point, for the sake of consistency, how about we make it a yellow? There we are. There you go. So let's see. Because that green information stays the same, they're buttons. So I'm wondering, do we, if that is the case, link these to specific areas, specific pages within pages, so to speak, in the sense of, instead of making a default page this way, we make a default page like this, right? And then let me slide it over a little bit here. Oh, hold on, if it lets me. Slide it over. I'm thinking we do something like this instead, where this box is a separate entity. We have the base page, and then we have the box that goes over top of it. I think that might work out better than making a different box each time. We always have this box. This box just does different things at different times instead of having the same exact box. So all we'd have to do is whenever the page changes, so let's see, on page flip is what we'll say, on page flip, ONPAGE, page, FLIP. Oh, hold on, page flip, little I, a little bit better. On page flip, comma, we need to reassign the buttons. So let's see, REASSIGN buttons, BUTTONS. And the reason why I think this might be a little bit better is because, well, it might be more work instead of just copy paste, but I definitely think it would streamline it a little bit more. And I did read that, lovely. So, and with that said, what I'm thinking is we have these buttons, and I'll go ahead and just do like a button here, for example. We'll say this is a cool button. Look at this button. How neat of a button is this? We have 3 buttons, let's say. So I have a button here, we have a button here, and these are all the buttons of the different flavors. So we have sweet and bitter. You know, let's just do 2 sweet and bitter buttons. And these buttons then have to look at different grids at different times. So the sweet button's going to have to look at, let's see, we'll just make it a page. I can do something like this here, and this here, and this here. So this sweet button, anytime we want to swap to a new one, they get unassigned and reassigned. So we have 3 different guys here, and depending on what page you're on, they'll look at different things. I think that might be the easiest thing to do. Well, hold on. I don't even think it's the easiest. I think it's the simplest, the most, the simplest. And so instead of redoing the entire page, just plug in a new box. Sounds crazy? Not plug in a new box. The box stays the same. The things behind the page change. So every time you flip the page, all of this changes, but the box stays the same. The box stays the same, but the buttons get reassigned. If that makes a little bit more sense, if I scroll out a little bit more, there we are. The thing is, when we did the customer, everything on the page changed, so it was fine to have it entirely change. But since all of these buttons are going to work anytime you flip the page, instead, we have to do a little bit something different, where we're going to have the same box overlaid on different pages. And green is the same? Yep, green is the same. This box stays the same each time. That's why I'm thinking we might have to have a little bit of a different approach. Instead of changing everything, we just need to make a layout of some sort that allows us to change the areas here. So we need to change the buttons, the numbers, and then this guy here is what I think we'll have to do, which shouldn't be too bad, but we'll see. We just need to create a page, and we have the rectangle. Oh, okay. It might be a little bit bad. I take it back. I take it back, because right now we don't have it overlaid. But we'll see. We'll totally see. Let's go back into concepts now. Or not concepts. Let's go back into Godot. With that idea down, we need to figure out a way to... what's the word I'm looking for? We need to figure out a way to separate the buttons. And what I'm thinking is, we just keep it like this. We keep it like this. We keep it invisible. And we have a different guy entirely. I think that might be your best bet. So what I'm going to do is we're going to grab, and then I believe this is our dish info. Nope. This is our left box here. Yes, okay. So this is what we would call our dish information box. This is our dish information page. So what I'm going to call it is I'm going to say this is our dish, D-I-S-H, dish left page. And how do we do it for customer? Let me just double check. Customer, yeah. So we're going to call this dish, and then we're going to do R-I-G-H-T, dish right page. That's what this is going to be called. Dish left page. That's what this page is going to be called. Oh boy, hold on. Dish left page. L-E-F-T. Dish left page. And then what I'm thinking is we have to grab this H box. Well, there's a few things we have to do. We have this dish box, dish left page, right page, all of these guys. Few things. is, and I believe we should also be able to see if I unmodulate. Yes, we want to keep this space empty at all costs, even when we make our own page. So what I'm thinking is we can go ahead and have most of everything here blank, or rather lower the modulus and enable the modulus otherwise. So to say, hold on, duplicate you. We have one guy on top of the other. We're then going to grab this guy here, lower the modulation. So hide this guy for a moment here. And do you have a page turning animation with that swoop sound when you turn the page? Not at all, not yet, no. That's a little beyond my knowledge at the moment. I wanna, but I have not figured out how to modify it quite yet. And maybe you won't be able to complete the game in 3 months if you do it though. Oh yeah, I would like to have it, but it's not a requirement at the moment, so it gets left in the to-do, possibly, hopefully, as I do like games that feel super duper immersive. Those are always my favorite. What we're going to do is we're going to lower the opacity on this here. We're then going to grab our H box here, so this guy here. We're also going to lower the opacity. So self-modulate, lower the opacity. We don't need you. Or not self-modulate, oops. We need to entirely modulate. So we actually have to do modulate and modulate, and we're going to reduce all of that. That, don't even see. It can be a DLC. Well, I don't want to go the DLC method. I want to go the update method, like what we would see in Minecraft or Stardew Valley. DLC does sound silly though. We're going to lower the opacity of this guy here. We're then going to grab our dish info, and again, we're going to lower the opacity. So go back to here, layout. We're then going to go to our modulate, so visibility. We're then going to lower down our modulation. So lower this down. There you go. Also, don't need it, don't see it. Next up, we're going to go into this guy here. Oh, hold on. Hide you here, hide you here. We then also need to lower the modulation of our rectangle page. So again, we'll go into visibility and we're going to lower the modulation. There you go. Oh, hold on. Lower the modulation. You can't, oh, hold on. We don't need to do that. We need to do modulate. There we are. That way it lowers everything. So while it might be the fact that this guy here has they do exist, they aren't visible. That's the hope. That means by lowering the opacity, by changing the modulation to see-through, we keep the structure of the box. That's why I want to keep it as it is and just lower the opacity, because now we know where the box goes for our flavor box. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call this our buttons. So we're going to call this our dish page flavor 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 select flavor page select buttons flavor pageselect flavor page select buttons flavor page select button, and then we'll move up here. Next up, what we can do is hide this guy. We're going to show this guy, and this is going to be what goes underneath it for all of the buttons. So instead of modulating everything, we're only going to modulate this guy here, our flavor list. So we go ahead and click it, and we're going to lower the modulation here. There we go. And what we've done is just separate them, fingers crossed. And what that leaves us with is the information for the dishes. And we go ahead and save this guy here. We're then going to go ahead and make this into a dish left page. So what I should be able to do, fingers crossed, is I should be able to now make it into a branch. So save branch as seen. Before we do that, though, what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that this, where are we at? This VBox flavor list, I want to make sure UR access is a unique name. And unique node, yes. We need to ununique node this. So ununique node, remove unique, remove that. And we're actually going to look at this guy here. So access as unique name, there we are. That's the one we want to look at. And this guy gets to be enabled like that. So you're visible entirely. With that said, we can also go ahead and remove the visibility of, let's see, this guy here. So we can go ahead and remove, well, not paragraph area, this guy here. We can lower down the opacity of this guy. So visibility, again, we'll do self-modulate and lower this guy down so our button should appear here when the time comes. With that said, now we can go and right-click this guy, and fingers crossed, we should be able to make it into a scene. So I'm going to do save branch as scene, and now we have dish left page. So let's see, book, customer tab, yeah, pages. I'm going to do now a new folder here, and I'm going to call it dish. And then we're going to do okay, and we're going to do save. Now we have dish left page as its own little guy here, you can see. And when we enter the scene, we have this. This is the dish page. And what we're going to do here now is make our own page and have the icons and all of that razzle-madazzle there. And we'll see how this goes. What we need to do first is let's take a look at how the customer page is set up. I'll go ahead and save this guy. And we'll save this guy here. So hold on. We need to make sure you are, let's see, layout, full rectangle, that is true. But why are you like this? Oh, I know why. Hold on, undo, close you, go back into here, undo. Can I undo? Will you let me undo? Oh no. So this might be where we have to go back on the code as yeah, this guy here is no longer working. Undo. Undo page set as, can we do that or no? Okay, yeah. This is a time where we go back. And they're razzle-dazzle, and it's going mad. It's going totally insane. All right, if that's the case, we'll go ahead and get the backup because it's not working. Oh, hold on, but we did just, okay, it's fine. I remember what we did. It's fine, we're all good. I realized we forgot to set the minimum size. That's what we needed to do. So let's just go back. I just have to re-get the backup, which is good. I am so glad we have these guys here. I should be able to undo all the changes, discard all changes here, discard all changes there, and then we have discard changes here. I should also be able to do discard changes. So we should be able to do discard changes there. There we go. And now if I open up Godot again, and it's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. Don't you worry. Okay, I'll go ahead and reopen Godot, and now we should be on, the backup, which is what the backup was made for. Oh boy. Oh me, oh my. We'll go ahead and enable Godot here. You should be able to see it soon. There we go. So, where did we last leave off here? I believe we were looking and lost fail. Oh no. Load failed due to missing dependency. Oh no. Oh no. Did the backup not back up properly? Hold on. Okay, this is fine. Everything is fine. We have here our dish flavor button. Could not find. That's okay. We have our dish flavor button here. Flavor disable button. Yes. We have you here. Are you all the colors you need to be? Yes. However, you need to be flavor. So I'll go ahead and rename you. We'll just make sure you're that there. And let's see. Let's just go back through everything. We shouldn't have lost too much. We have our flavor button here. Just double checking. It does have the disabled guy here. Yes. Okay, good. Which means where we last left off should have been, and oh no, panic. No, not yet. Hold your horses. There's no need to panic yet. Next up, we have the box flavor initialize. And then what we needed to do, or after we did the VBox flavor initialize, we needed to do our dish chapter dot. Then we needed to do our page, and then we have to do our first page selection button, and then we have to set it equal to, let's see, first page selection button equals a VBox flavor list dot get children, so get child, so get underscore child, get children, and set it to 0. I believe this should bring us back to where we were. And why are you angry? Arrayed node. Yes, get children. A value of type arrayed node cannot be assigned to variable type page select button. Why I don't get ya. Page selection button, VBox flavor list. You are a I see. Got ya. I think I know why. If we go into hydration, hi Rudy, welcome back in the stream. Welcome back in. Oh boy. And the good news is as well that if all else fails, we also do have a backup in the case of this being recorded. So there's a backup there too. Panic is again. No. Hydration support gets. Yes, indeed, Rudy. And thank you for that redeem. Thank you. No, not yet. Hold on. First page selection is a page section button. Yes, and then we go back up, and then we go VBox flavor list dot get children. Dot get children is going to be a the VBox container here, and we get the first child. I don't know why this is angry though. That's what I'm not too sure about. Why are you angry? Dish chapter dot first page selection button is going to be the child of this, and the value type of array node cannot be assigned to variable type page selection. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about. Why this was working before, but now it's not working. And if should need be, it's going to be, let's see. We go back to here, dish chapter. Yeah, first page selection button is one of you guys here. And I'm wondering, we have VBox flavor list initialize. On our initialize, we click on here. You're going to have your children, which is going to be when you add the child. I see. Oh, no. Wait. Hold on. Let's see. You there. Our VBox flavor list. That's what I wanted to look at. VBox flavor list. Here we are. There we go. This guy here. You add a child. Yes. Get children. It should add the child, but I'm not sure why it's not working. It was working before. Now it's not working. So what I'm thinking is what we're going to have to do is just pull a good old, yes, go back in history and see what the past me did. So give me 1 second and let's see if I can open it up. And how do I full screen? Okay, I am full screened. Let's see, go back a little bit here, go back a little bit here, and where do I set the button name at? Do we do it before here? Let's see if I can find it. We go back a little bit. We added the flavor implementation here. We set the page selections. We did the initialize. We did all of that there. We did the you there. We're gonna go back a little bit more forward. A little bit more forward there. Then we needed to do the page selection. I see. We did dish.chapter.firstPageSelection equals vboxflavors.list.getChild. Ah, it's .getChild. And the mystery tab you closed broke everything? Maybe. Oh boy, just a smidge, just a smidge. Oh my. The issue is I did get_child. There we go. Oh boy, give me a second to clear my nose. I'm just so glad everything's being recorded. If I had done this off stream, it might have been a different story. Give me 1 second. And what do you mean, the member? One of these days, Eris will set up Git. Surely? That's what I just did. Well, I'm using Git. Yeah, the reason I was able to delete all of our progress was because I made a Git save. The issue was that the Git save wasn't a very, very recent save. So I need to make a very recent save before I need to start saving after each step. And so need to triple back up now? Yeah. Yep, just about. Yeah. I did the save before I linked up the buttons. That's why it was angry, or that's why I was panicked, because we needed to redo the thing. We're good. We should be good. Double checking. We go into this guy here. Let us double check. Fingers crossed. The good news is that there is a backup of a backup, and it's been recorded. Oh boy, so there's no need to panic too much. We go to the next page here. We're now in this guy here. If I enter it, we should be able to go up and down, and we can. And when I leave it, tab, it does do that, and we go back here. Okay, now we make a save. Oh boy. And now we just do the other fix we figured out. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a backup of buttons functional. So I'm just going to call this buttons BOTTONS, buttons FUNCTIONL, buttons functional. Yes, just do that there. We can go ahead and commit you there and link it up. And you have to treat the program like a very picky and mad child. That sounds about right, truth be told. That sounds about right. Oh boy, let's go ahead and save this guy here. With that said, now we do the exact thing I did before, just very fast now that we understand what we're doing. We just needed to do a minimum size. That was the issue. So what I needed to do was in this dish guy here, so in this left box, I believe is what we call it, I didn't set a minimum size. That was the issue. The size it needs to be is 447, and then it needs to be 455. So 455. By setting it to the minimum size, when I make it into the scene branch, it won't get confused. That's why we did that earlier. With that said, now that the minimum size has been set, what we're going to do now is go ahead and duplicate this guy here. We're then going to hide this guy. We're going to call this now our flavor button. So page, PAGEFLAVOR, page flavor buttons, BUTTONS, page flavor buttons. After that, what we're going to do is again, we're going to modulate. So we're going to turn this modulation all the way down. Actually, it's going to be the entirety of modulation. So all of this gets hidden. And then we're going to go to you here. We're going to hide you. So we'll go ahead and do visibility. Again, modulate, turn the visibility down on that one. Then we'll go ahead again, hide this guy here, or grab this guy here. That's the one we need. So we need to keep that guy. And we're also going to modulate here. So lower the modulation again, because we don't need this guy. This guy here is an, oh, hold on. I didn't do the modulation. There we go. This one here, that one there. Okay, hold on. There we are. Okay, so we have our page flavor buttons. Another thing we needed to make sure was that this guy was linked. So I'm going to make sure our V flavor box here is unlinked. So I'm going to make sure, let's see, access unique name. Nope. You are going to go here. This is the one we're referencing. So go ahead and link that there. Go ahead and save. And now what we need to do is just make sure that our flavor list here, also low modulation. Yep, should be good to go. With all of that said and done, I'm going to make sure I save again. Just to be on the safe side before we make a new scene. Page modulation, PHEMUDULATION. Okay, now we add the changes, we stage the changes, and we push, sync. Okay. Now, if we make a mistake, this is the save it back up 3 times, yeah. Yep. Oh boy. Now, if I am understanding what I just did correctly, what we should see is that the box remains the same even if we make a new scene. And in case it doesn't like the save again, yeah. Oh boy, double, triple, extra, quadruple save. If I click save branches scene, now what we need to, oh, hold on. We also need to do dish left, LEFT, left page, PAGE, dish left page. Is that how we type it? Customer, yes. Customer right page, dish left page. Now we do save branchless scene. We go to UI, we make a new page area, we do dish, and we save it here. Click on save here. And now, because we set the minimum size, notice how it does not get smaller because the minimum size was set. Oh boy, I'm glad it's what I thought it was. Now if we go into here, this guy doesn't matter anymore because he's taking up as few bits as possible. Now that we're in here, and I can also go ahead and save this guy, we need to grab all the information of whatever dish we are looking at and make the save for the game a rhythm mini game. That would be very complicated. It sounds like a neat idea, though I don't think I've ever seen a pause screen where in order to pause you have to play a mini game. How silly. Let's see, we can go ahead and zoom into here, and I'll move this guy over just a little bit here. So, our dish left page, let's compare and contrast it to our customer left page. If we go into here, our customer left page is customer left page scene right here. And with that said, here's what it will look like, or at least the data, at the very least. If we go to our customer left page, which you should be able to see, there are a few things going on. We have an extensive page, and then we have the class name of page. Let's go ahead and start off by doing those two things. Back in our dish left page, we're going to go ahead and make a new script. So do you here, we're going to call it dish left page, create there, and then we're going to go ahead and have you extend from here, and then we're going to call you dish. So dish left page, there we are. And what's in a page, if we go ahead and click on you here, is we can see that there is an abstraction function called set values. The idea behind the set values button was that this would allow us to do, it has to be implemented. That's what an abstraction is the idea that, all right, this function, you must make it into something when you make a child. No, not a child. What do you call it for, I think it's polymorphism? When you make when you branch off of, no, it's not a child. It might be a child, where the idea is, if we go back into our customer right page here, this guy here, yeah, this. What is this called? What is this relation to page? We extend it from page. Is it called child, or I'm not quite too sure. I don't remember the name, and ads already, my goodness, it's already been almost 3 hours. my. Okay, well, we can do a little bit more, hopefully. So in our page, we have one thing and one thing only. We have number. And with that said, what we're going to do and start off with is we're going to set the page's number. That's step 1. So we'll go back into our customer left page just to check to see what we have. And we should be able to see where we set the page number at, possibly, set values. I don't see where we set the page number at. I guess you would do at export now for the moment. Set page number. I think that's what we'll do. Yeah, number at export. And if we go back into our dish left page, do we have number export here? We do not. Gaia. Okay, well, we'll go back into here, our number here. Yeah, it's interesting. There's no number value here. Huh. It should be an at export for number, right? At export, yeah, at export variable number. And in our flavor, dish. Our dish right page, it is a child of page. Why are you angry? Oh, I see why. It's not complete. That's why it's not showing up on the side. What we have to do is do a function for the set value. So I have to do func, and then I have to do underscore. Is it, let's see, is it underscore? Nope, okay. We'll have to do set values. So func, and then set, and then values. And then we can go ahead and do pass. There we are. And now it pops up there. You can't quite see it. Then, Eris, it's 5 a.m. Hi, that guy, Doria. Welcome in the stream. 5 a.m.? Time zones are wild. For me right now, it's about to be 4 p.m. So it's not, you're about like maybe 11-hour difference. And actually, you should write the number in your JSON file. Hi, Meowdy. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in. Well, this is temporary for right now. I want to, in the future, once we add all the, once we get everything going, I want to have the book itself make all the pages it needs to. So the book will delegate, okay, I know I need to make a customer page for you, and you. I'll set the page numbers to these. Right now we're doing it manually, but I want to in the future make it automatic. And evening. Well, that's sad. We'll go back into here and we'll go back into dish left page. This number being -1, fine for now. The -1 just lets us know that the page number hasn't been set, as a 0 is a page number, technically speaking. Well, that's sad. Okay. Ad breaks are about to start, so we'll go ahead and let them run, and then we'll customize this dish page, and then we'll see where we're at. We've made a lot of, and this is temporary. Well, the thing thing is, right now I'm trying my best to follow the advice of make it fast, make it dirty, make sure it works. Go back later and clean it up, but make sure it works first. It's been a little bit hard, a little bit painful as I'm used to doing a lot of optimization, but I think in the long run, I'd rather have things that are temporary permanent than never get to it in the first place because I'm too busy trying to clean everything up. So I think this method's working out for me. It's just painful. With that said, let's go ahead and have the ad breaks run. So you'll see that button there should be good to go. And since that is doing that, let me get some water here. I hope you've all been having a fun time, though. I know I have. We're getting a lot more than I thought we would be able to do. Then again, I didn't have any plans for progress. I wasn't sure how far we get, and I was just like, all right, today's just going to be working. I'm not sure what it's going to be about. Well, I know it's going to be about the UI, but we're getting closer. And rare, productive, rare. Hold on now. I need you to take that back. When have I not been productively optimized 100% business mode? I will need to see receipts on that one. I am as serious, as productive, as business, as, yeah. Can't you tell? And to be fair, I only followed since last I can say I've been productive since last December. And by the way, JSON files are easy to make translatable translations edit at scale, but they might not be something you're willing to do. Well, Meowity, I'm glad you asked. I do at the moment have JSON files I can actually show you, as I'm quite proud of my JSONs. Let me bring you to Obsidian here. And I missed the business pitch for today. You did indeed, Preston, and someone redeemed it twice. I believe it was Cats on keyboard. I do at the moment have JSON files, Meowity. In fact, how I've been holding most of my data is a Google spreadsheets. So for example, all of the different flavor combinations and everything are on a spreadsheet. And whenever I want to add any flavor, I would just add it here, and then I'd add the line here. For all of the spell lists, so all of the spell combinations, all the different things here, that is also on a spell sheet here. We also have the product descriptions here, and I think I ended up putting this in Godot itself. We also have product names here. We also have flavor descriptions. So I do use JSONs, and I'm glad I did, because I think editing it outside of Godot is, well, I did want to find an engine where you could do everything in one program. That's not quite possible, and I do like the look of this better in setting up the spreadsheet in a different program than trying to rely on Godot. I did try a spreadsheet plugin for Godot, but I didn't quite like it as much as I'm more used to Google Spreadsheets, since I even took a course in it once. It's been forever since then, but I'm more used to organizing data in a spreadsheet, and then I found out I could export it all into the JSON, so that's what we've been doing. So whenever we get around to adding all the poems, it should be easy enough, since all I have to do is just add a line on here and add the differences. And spreadsheets are fun, aren't they? They're so fun. It's especially like fun to when you get to data collect and then you get to type it in. And then, oh, even better. It's even better when you can do what is it, an automatic. So you could do, for example, here we have like the number 5, and then we have 2, and then you drag this guy over, and then you can do, where is it at? And then you can do sum, and you click sum, and then it automatically does the sum, and then you can modify this, and then you can do 3. Oh, the numbers changed. Isn't it neat? And hi, Busy. Welcome back in the stream. Welcome in. And you could customize it in Godot, but it's likely not productive unless you're making translators using that custom tool, for example. Yeah, I have heard of that before. And like I said before, I have seen a few, a few spreadsheets, and specifically enum-based ones, but I didn't enjoy them. And to learn how to customize them, that might be painful. And our ad break's over. Hold on. Eat. I will be eating soon, don't you worry. And welcome back from the ad breaks. Welcome back. Alrighty then, shall we continue and move on from spreadsheets? Hold on, let me just remove that there, save it for good. And yes, I love when you can change numbers and it affects all the different boxes. Yeah! Secret math is so neat. And it gets better once you think of spreadsheets as an IDE. I know an IDE is something. I just don't remember what it stands for. And me. Oh boy. Let's see. Let me go back into Godot here. Welcome back from the ad break. We're about to populate this dish page with some information, specifically dish information. Now that we have completed the buttons aren't linked, but that's okay. That comes afterwards. I'm me eating. Oh, I see. Well, I hope your food is nice and tasty. An integrated dev environment, something like what Godot has. or better. I'll take it as a good one though. An integrated dev environment, something like what Godot has. It's an IDE, something like VS Code, Visual Studio. Would that be an IDE? If so, I have experience with that one at least. But even with Visual Studio, I never really made I dealt with data. I didn't work on making, what was it called? Sorting algorithms. That was terrible. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the look of Visual Studio. And do you like chocolate? I do indeed. I'm looking forward to getting chocolate tomorrow. Oh man, you best believe I'm gonna get some chocolate, some strawberry, what is it called? Not strawberry, raspberry dark chocolate. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. We'll go ahead, and what we need to do is set the values. And I still, no, you stay away from my chocolate or we're gonna have a fight. You know, I run past this most of the time, but I am not willing to part with my chocolate. That's the one thing. I draw a line there. Oh boy. What we need to do, and I legally have to show up to one of these on days I'm not around much. Hi, Frost. Welcome into Stream. Welcome in. And buttons don't need to be linked. The player needs to figure that out on their own.
Just redeemed
They could figure them out on their own, Preston. We could have like a figure it out in your own setting where maybe it doesn't show up. And posture? Sure. And do you get the discount chocolate? No. I get the, what is it? I forget the brand, but it's like Choco XOXO chocolate. And all up purple. You are the most purple. Who? Where? Host? I ask you. So let's see. We need to add the page number. That's for 1. So let's go ahead and add our label page. And I see. Yeah, the page guy is going to have to be a little bit different. For example, we have the number here. We're also going to need the page label. Page number label. I think that'll be fine to do. So I'm going to have here an export, and we're going to call it @export page number label, page number label. I think that's a good use of it. And anyways, back to rest. Feel better soon, Frost, and hope your stream goes swimmingly. Thank you, and feel better soon. Truly, it's never fun when you want to do something, you know, your body says, nah, I'm not doing it. You can't make me. It's awful. So let's see. Page number label. We're going to make this a rich text label. So capital RICHTEXT. Rich text label. Why are you angry? Unexpected identifier in class body. Huh. I'm not sure what you mean. If I remove you, are you okay? @export. Oh, I see. Export variable. Now you're happy. Lovely. So, rich text label here. You go. Rich text effect. Hold on. What are you? You seem cool and sparkly. Look at it. It's got a little shiny purple. A custom effect for a rich text label? Huh? Which can be loaded into the rich text label inspector using rich text label installer. Huh? For a rich text to be usable BB code? Note, as soon as process custom effects. Hold on. Hold your horses here. I have questions. Rich text effect. What is that? Rich text effect. Godot, GODOT4, RECH, text, EFFECT. Rich text effect. What are you? A custom effect for rich text? Yeah, but how do you work? But horses are heavy. What if you're holding it while you're sitting down and the horse is sitting down? Let's fade that, right? The rich text effect will be usable like this. You there. I don't quite get it. And I see a lot of modders of games get a suggestion like, let the player figure it out manually and say, okay, I'm a cool guy. I'll do anything. And then proceed to make it very janky and boring to perform whatever it is. Oh, you have to do things with intention. If it doesn't feel like it would be a good feature, we've already tried it out before. And is there a YouTube video on rich text? There is. However, I've never seen this rich text effect. That's something I've never seen before. I'm gonna have to look into that, as I do like me a few effects here and there. That's so interesting. Maybe it's a custom, and as soon as rich text label contains at least one rich text effect, it will continue to process the effect. Huh, yeah, I'm gonna have to save that for later. That sounds interesting, because I use a lot of rich text effects, but if there's a way to automate it so I don't have to do as much pain, I would love to see it. So let's see here. We're going to make a rich text label. There you go. An export var rich text label. Now we'll go ahead and save it. We'll go back to the customer super duper quickly. Customer left page. Go ahead and grab that scene there. Make sure our page number label is our left page label there. And then what we can also say is our page label. So let's see. Label number. There we go. And there we go. And I have a deal for you. Oh no. Oh no, I'm not sure if I'm ready to hear about this deal. We'll then also go ahead and do our page number here. So page number label, that can go there. The thing is, I would like it if it would automatically do this. And hydration.
Cat sat on keyboard just redeemed
I would like
hydrate.
this to go outside of the function, but I'm just not too sure what. I guess we could do something like .super could work, maybe. And you make the modify emote 1 point, and in return, you will get some laughs. Well, you know, the economy is the way it is, so we don't, I've seen what you do with custom cookies. Look at cats on keyboard. Exhibit A. Look at the horrendous misuse of the modify emote. Yeah. See? This is why you can't get free things. Please, unfortunately, no. Maybe tomorrow, since it's Valentine's Day, we could do a discount on some things. Misuse? You mean the proper use? Misuse, you heard me. Let me get some water. Redeem done. And if you make it 1 point, I can have no stacks. As no stacks every stream. I'm worried about your health. And bookies have ruined the economy. Exactly. This is why we can't have nice things. Oh boy. I'm just wondering, do we want to keep going with the abstract idea, or do we make it the base of the function? I don't know. I guess either way we're going to have to assign it. It's just, do we want to do it regularly, or do we want to do something else? And bookies have ruined the economy. That. Good. I'll go ahead and copy this guy here. As we do use this, we copy and paste this a lot everywhere. I would like it if we didn't have to do this and we could instead do a little something else. But I don't know where we would be able to do it, since we're going to have to paste this somewhere. The issue is that it could be messed up instead of, for example, maybe I do a different number here, but yeah, I don't like this. But we'll keep it until I can think of a cleaner suggestion. So we have the customer left page, we have the customer right page. So I just need to go here again and let's see here, you there. And this is why I'm not too happy with it. But the good news is we do remove an already var from our guy. We get to use the page number label. We need to go into our customer left page here. Make sure we're in this guy here. Customer left page, page number is good to go. Customer right page, page number label, also good to go. We then have to go into our dish left page and so on and so forth. And Agor, hear me out. Maybe we could have the modified emotes on Discord too. Okay, you know what? I'd be willing to compromise with adding them to the Discord. Because the Discord, at least, it allows us to have about 100 emotes. With Twitch, you only get a limited amount, like 10, which is very limited. So I'd be willing to allow it on the Discord. I'd be open to it. And you don't like copying and pasting it over and over again? Make someone else do it. Expand. And I don't know, inflation affects boogies too. Of course. Oh my, yeah, I could add it to the Discord. I certainly could. Let's see, we do that guy, and then let's also go ahead and assign it to our, we need to add it to our customer left page here, and we did, so we can go ahead and close you. We can go ahead and close our customer right page, and the first stage of getting her to make it a real follower emote. Oh boy, and I did read that too, lovely. So let's see, flavor page select button. Yes, you are a button, you don't need to be noted, but you need to have your page number label. You're going to be that there. There you go. So, upon initializing, we first need to make our number set, and I may or may not have set buttons on my stream deck to paste theme. Oh boy! What is it, like micro buttons or micro functions? I don't remember micro actions. I think that's what it's called when you do it. And just buy some followers real quick, lol. Don't you get more emotes though? Yep. I think it's the more subscribers you get though. But I wouldn't want to inflate the numbers. That's not playing a fair game. Let's see. Why are you angry? We have you as a page. I see. Oops, wrong area. My mistake, good sir, kind sir. Let me go over here instead. There we are. And the most important button's gotta get a foot pedal just for that. Oh boy, let's see. We'll go ahead and paste this guide here. Okay, so set values. With that said, we are also going to need to set the values of our icons. How do we do that? Oh, hold on. I just realized as well. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. It's totally fine. It's so fine, in fact, that I have already decided what we're going to do. Fine. Just give me a second. Okay. What we'll do is we have to make an icon for the dish. No, we already have dish icon. The issue is, and what I realized a little bit too late, is that this icon here needs to be a different icon. And sadly, I need to go. No worries at all, lazy loaf. No worries at all. No schools. No snacks for me today. Good. And when's the last time you backed up 3 times? We should be good. We're still we really haven't modified this too much just outside of just doing the pages. But you know what? Fair enough. I do like the idea of making a backup. So we shall. Back up. There we go. Backup has been done. Thank you. And the most important button. Oh, you know what could be fun? On programming streams to have like a backup redeem. That could be neat. A little guy like that. The issue we're running into here is that these guys actually need to be a dish icon. Well, actually, hold on. I take it back. Dish icons. No. Yeah, you need to be a dish icon. And the issue is, dish icons are to a sprite. So, for example, if I go here and grab our dish icon, what you'll notice is it's like our item icon with the button here. So, maybe what we can do is grab an icon container. Maybe we can then paste it into here, possibly. And then we can go with however big this is. So our icon container is that big. Let's make it into that big there. There we go. And then we go for a layout and go ahead and do custom minimum size. What size are you at the moment? You're about 67 by 64. Set you to 64. Good to go. And then maybe set you to 64. There we go. There you go. Okay. And after that, and when I do that, and sadly I do that, and we'll make them little cakes. Yes, they'll be little cakes. We're about to add little cake sprites, since this will be the cake dish, and then the other ones will get their other sprites. So we should be able to save this guy here. And now we have to add the icon sprite. In this case, it's not going to be a flavor sprite. It's going to be a dish sprite, since that's our dish icon. So let's see, dish icon atlas. Yep. We need our dish icon sprite. So cookie sprite, cake sprite. Oh no. How do we grab the icon? Is it just going to be an icon sprite? Hold on. Icon sprite. Item select. Icon sprite. Where are icon sprites at? Icon underscore sprite. SPRITE. How do we fill up our bookcase then? Bookcase. Is it called a bookshelf, possibly? Bookshelf. It's been a second since we've been here. I'm not quite sure what's going on. So bookshelf here. And then we do set icon by type. I see. Okay, we make icon, advanced sprite, icon type. Got ya. And then we set the sprite. Okay, got ya. Okay. In that case, what we have to do is do set icon by type dot emit. Let's go ahead and just control and find this in our code. And we do it here in our select screen. Set icon by type, back to here. And then what we say is we append item array. Okay. And then we make an item select icon. That's what it is. And we're icon poor. And we just couldn't find them. It was in the well, not Beauty in the Eye. The riches were already won. How about that? Let's see here. I'll go ahead and save. What we need to do is make an item select icon. So we're gonna go ahead and do this guy here. We actually don't need to make it new though. That's the good news. We just need to set the icon by the type. So if I go ahead and just copy this guy here, we should be able to do new book, not new book. We need to go to this guy here, We're going to need an icon sprite. So I'm just grabbing not our flavor select button. We don't need that anymore. We need our pages. So this guy here. We'll save this for when we need it. So I'll go ahead and do this here. And Twitch mobile is so bad sometimes. Oh, that's not good. I know, what is it? Nope, I don't remember. It has cleared my mind entirely. Oh boy, I'll let you know if I remember. Oh my, we need an icon type sprite. So icon, let's see, icon cafe, icon something. We need an icon select sprite. Here we are. We need an icon select sprite. So I can just go ahead and drag this guy into here. That's what this guy is. Icon select icon, that's this guy right here. And you get an icon holder, icon name. Yes, and then you get a type. Oh, hold on. Icon select, that's not it exactly. We have an order icon, customer icon. Where are our icons at? Hold on. We have item select icon. Yeah, well, it's not you. And in our bookshelf, where we're at. And no! How could you? Not Bobby too! Oh boy, he didn't deserve this! Bobby should have some snacks too! Oh boy, this is what happens when you give people free will. Icon. Yup. Icon. Let's see. Set icon by type. Item select icon. New item icon by type. We have here an advanced sprite. We create an advanced sprite maybe then? Match advanced sprite type. Yeah, I'm gonna guess then, because we create a sprite, we have sprite, if sprite, queue free sprite. Then we set a sprite. Okay, and what is a sprite? A sprite is an advanced sprite. Got ya. Okay, let's go back into here then. Go back into here. We can go ahead and delete you two guys. We don't need you. We need a sprite, S-P-R-I-T-E. Grab a sprite, and it should be a basic default sprite. Close a sprite wizard here, add-ons here. We need a sprite. Where are you at? Ah, advanced sprite. Here we are. This little guy right here. And what we can see is, I don't know how to read that, dizzy. Oh boy. We'll go ahead and move you then into here. And the good news is that our, our bottle should have the sprites. So we just have to modify them a smidge. For example, here we have type, value, animation, all those guys are good to go. And then the texture guys, those should get filled in. Is the idea. We have in our book, let's see, you here. We create a sprite, if not queue free. And I'm curious to see as well, yeah, we don't do export var sprite. So when we make a sprite, we queue free the sprite, then we make the new sprite here. So dot instantiate a certain sprite. So product.icon.instantiate. Yeah, and our dot instantiate is going to be product icon. Got ya. Okay, it comes back around. We need a product icon, product, P-R-O-D-U-C-T, product icon, product sprite. This guy here. This is the guy we need. Yes. Yeah, okay. We don't need an advanced sprite. Advanced sprite's the basic one. We just need this guy here. And with that said, we now need to set the sizing to, I believe 2, because it is 64 by 64. We then reset the position here, and we should hopefully be able to just put it in the icon container. Possibly if we just move it to here and here. Set the position to this position here. I think that's it. We just have to slide it over just a smidge. There you go. Okay. So the hope is that when we change it, this is going to be our icon, right icon. So we'll say right, R-I-G-H-T, right icon. And now we're going to need a left icon. So I'll go ahead and save this guy here, and we'll do the same thing for the other side. So what we can say is, and I'm just hiding this to see, yep, okay. We should be able to duplicate, I think, right? Yes, lovely. And we can set this to icon left, L-E-F-T, L-E-F-T. There we are, dish icon right, dish icon left. There we go. And this is going to be our left icon, L-E-F-T-I-C, that's not F, L-E-F-T-I-C-O-N, left icon. Now what we can do is go ahead and delete this guy here, dish icon left. Make sure you're set to 1 here. There you are, and left. Exactly, or did I? Okay, I thought I mispronounced it, and I thought I misspelled it for a second. We're good. Then we'll set the left icon to be on the left, and that one on the right. Now what we need to do is go back into our dish left page, dish right page, all of those guys. We now need to grab the, what is it called? Make independent? No, it's not that one. It is this guy here, right click, and access as unique name. There we are. We need to access this right icon as unique name, and we also need to access this icon as unique name. So the right and left need to be accessed as unique name. With that, oh, hold on, that's not a unique name. You can tell because it's so long. Access is unique name. And the reason why I click on access as unique name instead of drag and dropping is just like that. That's the reason why. If I go ahead and do a redo on that one, undo on that one, and we do access as unique name, what you should notice is that they look a lot different. One of them has a little percent and then the name of the node. The other one has an entire path of where the node is. The reason why it's good practice to do access as a unique name is because what if I wanted to move this left icon down here? Well, because it's not directly in the path I'd expect it to be, Godot looks at that and says, I don't know what you're talking about. But when you do it here by making it a unique guy, wherever you move it, it still knows I'm looking specifically for this, not I'm looking for this thing in this location. That's why you do access as unique name. So I'll go ahead and remove this guy here. We have our right icon and our left icon. Another thing we're going to need is the dish type. So let's go ahead and put on here our type. So I'll do at export var, and we're going to call this type, T-Y-P-E, and then it's going to be a cookbook dot, and then it's going to be a product. Cookbook.product, and we're by default going to set it to cookbook.product.none. So cookbook.product.none. There we are. And when we set our values, this is where we're going to set it. So set values, we need to push in, and I'm wondering as well for the page. Yeah, how do we do the customers, I wonder? For customer, let's do customer left page. So I'm curious to see customer left page. Yeah, set values, I see. And I believe I was automatically setting them in the code. So set values, I'm wondering if here we do an empty type, that way we can set it as its own. That could be possible to do, though. No, that won't be, because we would need if we were to do set type for example, the customer, we would have to have a link to the customer resource. So I take it back. For now, we're going to keep things simple in the sense of keeping everything here instead of trying to make it create something new. So what we're going to do is close out you, and we're going to keep you, close out you as well. We just need to do you there, type new item. Yep, we're good to go. So page close, and then we're down to here. Once we set the dish left page values, now what we're going to need to do is to say right icon, oh, completely forgot. We also need to do our type, so whatever our type is. So right icon dot, and then we can do, now I forget what it is. I think it might be initialize or set value, what do we call you when we set you? Let's see. You are called set icon. I was close! Set icon, set underscore ICON, set icon. And then from here, what we're going to say is advanced sprite, and then we're going to do dot, type, and we're going to say product. Product, what product is it going to be? Whatever product we have here, type there. And after that, we can duplicate you and also do you for the left icon. So now, when the values are set, we should hopefully be able to set the icon for the left cake and the right cake, or whatever value it needs to be. Now with that done, we also need to change the name of the title, whatever it is. So what we can go ahead and say is grab our title. If we go into, let's see, label dish info, you have the house name. So this is going to be not label house name, it's going to be label LABEL, label DISH name, label dish name. And again, we're going to make sure we do access this unique name and then drag and drop where we need it to be. So you here, oh, did I linking UI buttons, hold on. I need to change that too. And when you hover over the icon, they can wiggle like making candles flicker. Well, the thing is, they can hover, they can wiggle like making candles flicker. For a second, I thought you meant hover with the mouse. There is a way to hover with the buttons regularly. I can see that being the thing. Yeah, that could be a cute idea too. Let's see, let me go ahead and I need to make you here, and then I need to do you here. Taskbar. Right now, we are making dish page UI. There we are, making dish page UI. That's what we're doing at the moment. And let me set that goal there. So we have you there, and then we can drag and you over. Okay. So with that said, we set the two guys, and now we have to change the name. So what we do here is we're going to do you label dish name dot text, and then we're going to say dot text, and we're going to set the text equal to cookbook dot. Then we're going to do, let's see, product, and then we're going to do dot find key, and then we're going to say whatever type it is. So we'll put type here, so TYPE, and then we need to do dot CAPITALIZE, capitalize. Capitalize is going to leave us with the very first letter capitalized, and everything else as small as possible. And that goal, icon. We're past the icon goal now. We're working on adding the name when it pops up. And lastly, we just have to add the description. So whatever the description of the cake is. However, I don't think we have a cake description. So, and I wonder too, do we need a cake description? In the game, the cakes themselves already have descriptions, but I guess the cake could have a description. I don't think it's quite needed though, since each cake, for example, the difference between a chocolate, what is it called? Chocolate lava cake? Or between a lava cake and a red velvet cake. They'll have their own descriptions, but the cake description as a whole doesn't need to have a description. Maybe what we could do, as I do like the idea of just a flavor text is fun. The hope is that it's Gabby making note entries, so maybe it could be her description on how she came up with the recipe to make. I could see it being that, like I spent the night there doing something, and I realized I could do this, something like that. And howdy, oh, hold on. Howdy doodly do! I wish I was as knowledgeable enough in Godot to understand half of what you're trying to explain. I love the enthusiasm, though. Well, thank you very much, and it's quite fun. Howdy doodly do! Yeah, it's fun. Howdy doodly do! Welcome in, that Zilith guy. Welcome into stream. Welcome in. What an entrance. So let's see. Yeah, I think this could make for fun flavor text of how she discovered it, or her notes on it, or maybe like a thing of, I don't quite like this flavor, or something of the sort. I think that could be fun. So we'll keep the description. The next question then becomes, though, where do we house the description? We brought it up earlier on if we use JSONs or not, and we do have some JSONs around here and there. I believe what we settled on for the flavors is we just put the description in here until we figured it out, since I didn't have many things to put into a JSON file. However, considering the fact that we do have more JSONs or more information, maybe it would be worth it, but I don't quite know. For example here, this is a flavor combo to dictionary. I would like to put this in a JSON if we had multiple of them. That way we could have it in a spreadsheet. What I'll do for now is we're going to do var, and we're going to do product, P-R-O-D-U-C-T, product _2 _DESCRIPTION, product to description. And then we're going to set it to a dictionary for now, until I can figure out a nicer way. Then we're going to do dictionary, then we're going to do product. So we can go ahead and do product here, and then we're going to do a string. And I'm knowledgeable enough? Yeah, you are! I do agree! Or I can say most certainly, it's the matter of doing. I only have about 1 year of Godot under my belt, so I'm still certainly learning. And Ethan Mars from Heavy Rain, Jason. I feel like I've heard the Jason bit before, but I think it is from there. I know it's a reference to something. Oh my. Well, then go ahead and grab our products here, and Eris ignores me anyway. What do you mean, Toak? Didn't I read your messages? Micro optimizations. Oh, micro optimizations. I didn't see that one. Did I miss any more? Let me just double check. I don't think so. My apologies, Toak. And press X to Jason. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and move you here, move you here. We'll then be able to move you here. From there, we'll grab our product. We'll then add we'll hold down the Alt key so that we can select all of these, and then I'll do Control V to paste and do a dot. Now we have all of our products. With that said, we now need to assign them. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this here and set it to none, and then I'm going to also paste this guy in here. So we'll paste these guys. Oh, hold on. I'll just do again, hold down Alt and just do this here, paste that there. There we go. And no, what I meant is I offered you the perfect solution known to humankind. Oh, wait, no, I'm even more lost now, Toak. What was your solution? If I may ask again. Oh boy, asking questions here and there. Product cake. My favorite. My favorite. My favorite. And then what would Gabby say about cookies? Tasty in small doses. DOSES. Tasty in small doses. And then for cocoa, we can just say, I've never liked chocolate. CHOCOLATE. I feel like that could be a fun direction to go. And I'm making it worse. No wonder you ignore me. I'm getting confused. Talk, we've been over this. One single track of thought. I could only process one at a time. Oh boy. We'll go ahead and save this guy. And then we can go ahead and copy our product description. Go back to our dish left page here. We need to grab our description guy, so we'll go ahead and enter that in. And then we have label dish info. We'll go ahead and make sure it's access as unique name. Already is. Lovely. We'll just drag and drop you into here. Label dish info. And lastly, what we'll do, once we've set the page number, once we set the icons, we lastly just have to add the dish info, which should be easier now. And never mind. Oh, maybe next time I'll get it. Label dish name, so label dish info. I don't like that one. Dish, well, I guess info's okay. Info, description, they're the same thing, but I'd like it if they had a similar name. So I'm just wondering, do we want to go with that? Oh, undo. Do we want to go with that or description? You know what? Let's go the long route. DESCRIPTION. Label dish description. There we are. We'll do that. Paste that into there, and then we'll also do that here. So DESCRIPTION, label dish description, copy you, paste you into here, then do .txt, and then enter into there, and then we need to do cookbook, and then we need to do dot, and then we need to do, let's see, it needs to be flavor something, so get flavor combo string, get flavor combo to description. Flavor combo to description, which flavor are we adding? We're adding our flavor, there we are. That is not flavor. FLAVOR. There we are. And gonna get so much controversy with the not liking chocolate? What do you mean? Everyone has their own taste. For example, I love chocolate. I remember asking last year on what you would get someone for, what would you want for Valentine's Day, and I don't think one single person chose chocolate. I was the only chocolate lover, it seemed like. So this year, someone also said chocolate, so I'm quite glad, as you can never go wrong with chocolate. It's so tasty. Let's see. Why are you angry, sir? Kind sir. Ah, I see. Type. There you go. Good to go. And flavor to combo description is not a function. Oh, I see. Got ya. Oops. We need to do flavor to combo description, and then we need to do that and that. There you go. Are you happy now? Good. Lovely. So if everything is working as estimated, when we run this, what we have to do, if I scroll out a little bit, we should see the number at the bottom. We should see the cake icons and the description. We're right now doing cake. So let's go back into our book here. Let's go back into the new dish here. This guy just needs to be slid over a little bit. And actually, let me get the position. So layout, I can copy position. So let's see, transform, position, copy value. And then I can grab this guy here and we can do layout, position. And I can just paste the position here. So let's see, paste position here, paste value. There we are, slid back. And where's the last time you backed up? Well, we're backing up in a bit. I backed up very recently though, and I love chocolate. I bought a lot on sale, and now it's in the basement, so I need to work for it. I do that method too. If the chocolate's in the same room with me, or if it's in the same level of building, it's easy to get. But if I just put the chocolate downstairs, that just means I have to go work for it. I have to go downstairs physically. Who wants to do that? It saves me a lot of chocolate because it's not instant gratification. You have to, you put up a barrier. It's not instant, which is, yeah, that's a great tactic. So let's see, save that guy there. Alrighty, so our dish left page here, we are going to set to be the type of, let's do cocoa. And it saved me needing to get bigger pens. Yeah, I agree. One time I bought a whole thing of Linden's chocolate, the white chocolate one. I don't regret it, but I don't regret it, but oh boy, yeah, hell man, never to be trusted in a room with them again. And there's the ultimate obstacle. It's just a small push, and I can have chocolate next to me for weeks without eating it. You are stronger than me, Preston. You are most certainly stronger than me. Let's go ahead and start this up and see if it does give us our cocoa page. So if I go ahead and run current scene here, what do we get? We're expecting to see the cake, or cocoa. Cocoa is the page we're expecting to see. So let's see. Slide on over. We have the Necromancer. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. I click on a U here, and then I click on U here. There we are. So again, we have our customer tabs here. We have you here, Necromancer, Medimancer. We can then escape out of it, go to the next page, and we have dish. Interesting. Oh, we forgot to set the function to load it up. Hold on. Oh me, oh my. Let's go back into our we need to go into the new book here, for example, and then what we have to do is access his unique name just as a test, as I'll be adding all of the pages once we get there. You can see here there's 2 different pages. What I was saying before was I would like a way to do this all in code, add all of the nodes so I wouldn't have to type them out. The good news is there's only 10 of them, but that's 10 customers, 10 dishes, 10 flavors. That's 30 in total, and I don't know if I can handle 30 of all of these. It wouldn't be too bad since there's collapsing, but I'd rather find a way to do it automatically. That would be quite nice. But the issue is this guy here needs the profile. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. This guy here needs the profile of the customer, and that's what I was talking about earlier with the resources. And I know there's got to be a way to link up resources in code. But for now, it stays in here until I can figure out not even an easy way, but a plausible way, something manageable. What we'll do though to test our dish page is we'll go ahead and make sure that guy is here, and then I'll go ahead and copy you here. And then I said dish left page dot instantiate, dot start instantiate. What's your name? Hold on. Close you. We don't need you. Dish left icon. I have to do set values. Oh boy, there's so many different ways I name it, and that's no good. You usually want to name things consistently, but there's been different times where set values different than instantiate. I usually use instantiate if I'm making something new. I use set values if it already exists and I'm just tweaking it. That's the difference I tend to go with. So set values here, and no, there is no way of linking. You're the first person that has wanted to. I don't know about that one. I do feel like there is a way, specifically because you can look through folders and see what's available in the current folder. So for example, I can pull up all of the folders and code here for all the different levels. I would assume then, because all of these levels can be pulled up from the code, like having a list, or not having a list, having a folder of levels and then loading them, there's gotta be a way to do that for other resources. I definitely think there is a way. And I can believe a VTuber can be Stargated or Stairgated. What do you mean exactly? Oh boy. With that said, let me go ahead and do set underscore values, set values. There we are. And do I have to put anything else in here? I don't believe so. I think you're good to go. Okay, so with all of that said, now let's try again. Let's click on play, let's click on start, and see where things go. We are expecting it to say Coco. It has to have the Coco, and sorry, add an S to that statement. No, there's no way of linking. You're the first person that has wanted. Oh, sarcastic, I see. That's the sarcastic one. No, there's no way of linking it. You're the first person that's ever wanted to do that. There we go. Oh boy. Let's see. Slide you over here. Oh, hold on. Out of this tab here, we're back to our Necromancer guy, and look at that! We have Coco up and going. Now the question is, why the... Oh, you know what? I think I know why. If I go ahead into our remote scene here, we'll be able to get a look at our book from the big view. If we go into our book here, we go into our dish tab, we go into this guy here, our pages. If I go ahead and do, let's see, dish tab here, that is the one we're looking for. Pages left page, that would be what here? Ah! You're old. You're very old. I see. You'll have to be deleted. And we have dish left page here. And then we have your page flavor button. Yes. Dish page. I see. It has to do with our dish page then. If we go ahead and open up you a little bit more, what do we have going on here? Oh, I see. I know the issue. Hold on. Hide. Show. Hide. Show. Gaia. Okay. So let's see and thank you. Oh boy. Our guy here, for some reason, is not, it should have been instantiated. It should be its own scene now. If I go ahead and just check you, for example, here and here, we shouldn't have, just double checking, I'll go ahead and close you here. And now I'm very old, you don't have to call me out. Back in my day. And looking at Godot UI notes is like reading Russian to me. I can't read Russian. Fair enough. I know definitely there are easier ways to make the notes cleaner. However, I've noticed as well that a lot of people tend to complain when it comes to control notes, specifically with Godot, since you have to do a lot of in, and branching in, making children to make it look nicer. That is what I have noticed. And our icon here, yeah, you don't have a texture. And you also don't have a texture. There you go. Icon there, you don't have a texture. There you go. Okay, click on play now. Let's give it another go. Let's see. And it makes my brain go fight or flight. Yeah, I agree. And making children, we're making them and deleting them. That's what we're doing. So let's see. Save that guy there, that there. Okay, now let's go ahead and flip the page again. And look at that. We have our Coco page. Isn't that neat? And fanciest of the fanciest. Now, granted, that's not true. That is not what it should say. So let's modify it a little bit and see what's going on. And you guys always weirdly a bit of a nightmare. I agree. And at least you don't have to do and or. If else. Oh boy, the day I do that would be a painful one. That's like the first thing I learned in college about if you have to do so many branches, it's probably not the cleanest code. Is it possible? Is it functional? Sure, and it does work. But does it keep you sane? That's a better question. Oh my, let's see. The issue we're running into is that the description isn't correct. If we go back into our left page here, we go into you here. Why are you not correct? Flavor combo. Hold on. You need to be product to description. Hold on. Product. P-R-O-D-U-Z-T. Product to description. That is what it is to me. Click on you. Click on you. Try again. And I've only been studying Godot for a month or so. I like it. Good. And it's still confusing trying to figure this all out using the docs and YouTube tutorials. I agree. I've been in it for about a year and definitely it's been confusing. However, the community of Godot has been really helpful. The tutorials, the people, it's been nice. And hi, Dark Palm. Dark Palm. That's a name I haven't written quite a second. Barney Princess. Hey, Eris. Look at you growing in followers of yours. Such a big girl now. Excuse me, I'm a princess. Big difference. Barney Princess, oh boy. And you know the source for all the different terms? I do like me some thesaurus, but if I can help it, I'd like to keep all the terms similar. The issue is, depending on I'd like to have the definitions clearly. So for example, what is a customer versus what is a ghost? They are both entities, all right? What is an entity? And going off of that, I do think that helps because then it helps me narrow down if I need to make a new thing or expand the definition. If we go ahead and flip the pages here, what do we get? Coco! There we are! Look at that! That is so neat. Okay, and lastly, one more double check to see if this is working properly. Let's add in 2 more pages. So I'm going to add in Coco. I'm also going to add in here cake. And let's also, let's get a little fancy. Let's also add in cookies. So we should see the Coco, cookies, and cake page. I'm then going to make the cookie page, let's see, 3, and then we're going to make you 2. There we are, 2. Sure. And then we'll click on play. And also, did did you say you wanted to finish the game before the end of the year? We are far past that, Dark. That is something I've come to accept. That's not going to happen. The thing is, because this is the second game I've ever made, I don't know how long it takes to make. And I thought it would only take 4 months. Clearly that is not the case. So now it's just a thing of when it's done, it'll be done. I just have to work on it every few days or every day if I can help it, at least once a week. And eventually the game will be done. I don't know when, but I definitely don't want to work on this for 2 years. So technically speaking, it's been a year. So I take it back. We don't have much time. But you know what? Some games have been made in over about 4 years. So could be, could not be. But I hope I can work on something at least on year 3. And at least you're pushing through it, and it's looking super good from where you started. Thank you, Dark. Yeah, I could certainly say there's been evolutions. And oh, hold on. Why are... Oh, hold on. I think I know why, or something of the case. Let's see. Do we have to link up all of you children? Is that it? Is that it? We have the left page and the right page. And this control guy here, you should have the left page container. I think that's the issue. Something's off here. But before that, we'll go ahead and save, since I think that's good. Yeah, okay. We'll save and do the ad breaks, and that'll be coming up soon. And then I think we'll have time to do the flipping of the pages. We won't have time to do the buttons and link those up. So if I have time either later today or sometime between now and Sunday, but if not, that's what we'll be doing. But we'll go ahead and do the ad break, which gives me a chance to get some what here. Let's see here. All good to go. Tasty. Okay, water's good. Let's do some stretches, shall we? You'll start off by going over to the right a little bit and just finish the game before Half-Life 3 comes out. I've heard so many people like, will this thing finish before GTA 6? Let's go to the left a little bit. And then we'll go to the back a little bit. And then we'll go to the front a little bit. Make sure to go slow. Don't break anything. Very bad if you do. Don't recommend it. We'll then take our head to the left a little bit, slowly bouncing it. And then we can go a little bit to the right here. And then what we can do is turn our... Well, we can go down too, I suppose. If we want to do the full motion here. Down. And then we can also go a little back. Like that. And next up, we turn here. Hold it for a little bit. About a minute, I'd say, but we don't have time for a minute. And you can also do this for about a minute here. Hold it. And then we can also go to the left here. Well, it's quite nice. Hold it for a second or two and then back down a little bit. Like that. And you should be all stretched out. And while I can't stand up to go stretch my hamstrings, I do recommend it. I forget the specific name of the stretch, but it's the one where you put your hand against the wall and then you grab your ankle. So you're standing on one foot and bringing your ankle as back as you can. And you're just a few years away from every bone popping when you do your stretches. Just a few years away. Preston. My body does that on the regular. Every morning I wake up, there's a new problem. I think to myself, huh? I've never heard that sound before. It didn't hurt, but I don't like the way that sounded. Oh boy, let me get some more water here. Yes, indeedy. I'll be excited. I made, for the first time ever, I made some soup this week. I'm not a fan of soup, just like how I'm not a fan of bananas, but I thought to myself, you know what? I might as well try. So I made some, and it was delicious. That was the first time I ever made it, and actually, I think it's been at least a good decade since I've ever tasted soup again. I made cream of broccoli. It was delicious, and I definitely do it again. The question is, though, if maybe we can add soups into this game, like tomato soup, would that go in a cafe? Like tomato soup and grilled cheese. Is that a fancy dish, do you think? And the best thing is when you sit down in a computer chair in a normal way and you spray your in a normal way. There's a normal way. Oh boy. With that said though, ad breaks are just about up. So welcome back from the ad breaks. Shall we continue with the last few details? What we're missing at the moment is the fact that the dish page won't flip when we flip the pages. It does it for the customers, but for some odd reason, it does not want to do it for the dish page. Oh, I know why. It's because the customer page here has a left and a right. This is our left page. We don't have a right page at the moment. So we're going to need to make the right page. Understandable. Okay, since that's the case, let's go ahead and get started on that. Let me make sure I made a backup. Well, we did not. All right, so I'll go ahead and do on here, dish pages, dish page, PARTI, somewhat SOMEWHT, somewhat working. There we go. Okay, stage changes, commit, and push. From there, what we're going to do is figure out the layout we want for the right side of the page. So everywhere that we're using the combinations. And go invent dish right now. Or invent dish right page. Yeah, I think that's good. Or rather, maybe more so make our design. That one works too. Let's see. Making dish page UI. We already made we're still making the dish page UI. Rather, we are, no, I think that still works. Making dish page UI. That's still pretty good to go. So, the way I have been doing them, and I think I can show you, it was a 3x3. I don't think it is anymore. But we have a wide variety. If I go into cake here, for example, the way I have my cake dish sprites is if I click on this guy, you should be able to see there's a bunch of them up here. And as we go along, these guys will expand. There is a total of, I believe, we did the math earlier and I don't remember what the math was. Let's see. Okay, I might just have to go to the permutation table. Hold on. Let's see. Permutation table. Permutation and combination calculator. Yes. All right. We have a total of 10. Let's see. Amount of each subset. Yes, but what about repeating? Probability, sample size. Hold on. I might need a different calculator. Permutation, PRMUTATION. Permutation calculator. There we go. Now, I wonder, permutation versus calculation. I know there was a difference. I don't remember what it was, though. It's been ages. Let's see. How about this one here? Is this one here? Is order important? No. Is repetition allowed? No. Okay, so types to choose from. There are a total of 10 types, and goal do more spreadsheets becomes more fun. I hope to. Once we have made the demo of the game, that means I get to fill the spreadsheets out. Since right now, the spreadsheets are to be as small as possible. So we have types to choose from. There's 10 types, and you can choose 2 types. There's a total of 45 different combinations, which means we need to have a 5x5 grid of possible combinations, which, if I recall, we realized wasn't too bad. 5x5. So a total, no, not 5. Oh, I'm not doing my math right. It needs to be a total of, okay, 10 wide. Oh no. 25 by 2? No. Oh. I was never good at permutation calculators. Okay, hold on. Oh, this is fine. This is okay. Fine. Let's go into concepts. Think this out. Fractions, probability, that was never my math strong suit. I was always into geometry and was calculus the one where you would solve for x? I know there's one that deals with angles and graphs. I didn't like that one either. I liked the one where it was a really long, complicated thing and then you had to solve for x. Those are always my favorite. Okay, so we have to do a total of 45. Let me scroll out a little bit here. 45, 44, and 5. 45. And that would be 5 times 5 equals 25. 10 times 10 equals 100. So for a total of 45, we could do, let's see, 5, 5, 5, 25. If the page is this long, then we could do more numbers this way. So let's see, 45. What would that be? I know there's a few numbers that go into 45. But what could the grid size be if we need to fit 45 items? And I can do the one where it says you have 1 green bucket and 1 red bucket. How many buckets do you have? I nail it every time. That one's good. It reminds me of the math problem of you have 5 chocolate and you give Sally 2 chocolates. How many chocolates do you have left? 5. Sal's not getting my chocolate. Oh boy, let's see here. And at least 1 bucket. You're already on your way to math. Let's see. 5 by 5, that wouldn't work. We could do, oh man, this math is getting hard. This is tricky. What goes into 45? You know what? This is what the internet was made for. I know, what's it? 45. That's gonna be 5 times, that would be 5 squared. No, 5 times 5, that's 25. 545, is that 9 times 5? I think possibly. Yeah, 5 times 10. So that's 9 times 5. Okay, that's not too bad. 9 times 5. So if we did a total of 9 down, 5 wide, that could work. 9 down and then 5 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Yeah. 45 is 5 times 9, I believe, if I did the math correctly. Multiplication 2 was not a skill I was too good at doing quick math. As you can, well, I developed a few skills here and there. It's just a thing of the memory ones are always very tricky. We'll go ahead and slide you to here, slide you to here. So this would be, can we fit 45 onto here quite cleanly? I think we do have them unlocked and available. So this would be 9, and this would be 6, and then there would be a total of this many here. That doesn't feel like it would work. We might have to do a total of like, maybe we could do this down here, and then, Okay, this is fine. This is okay. We know our goal. We can work from there. Let's see. And I question as well, I believe I should have a dish page because we did it, or we started doing it, and then I forgot. So let's see. If I go to here and we do dish here, dish page, dish flavor page. Oh, I completely forgot. Never mind. We're good. We don't have to worry about multiplication. Never mind. We're good. We're fine. We're good to go. The reason why is because this 45 number is under the idea that we have to have all combinations on screen at one time. The thing was, we in the past realized that 45 was not possible because there were so many. So the workaround here is we instead separated them by their categories of flavor, so that instead of doing this many, now we just have to worry about the combinations of the few. For example, let's see, number of combinations types to choose from. It wouldn't be 45 in total. There's 10 here. I'm not sure the math on that, but that's a lot less than if it were to be all of them at one time. That would be sweet, and then you would combine them all with, oh, never mind, that would be the math, wouldn't it? That would be a total of 11 flavors, because there are 11 different 10. It would be a total of 10 flavors, because there's 10 different combinations you could do. You could do sweet bitter, you could do sweet memory, you could do sweet cake, things like that. So that, okay, we're good, we're fine. Oh my, here I was about to get worried. And so, Pass, you figured this out, and then didn't tell you until now? How inconsiderate! It's betrayal, I tell you. I have to work double hard just because of Past me's failure at remembering. So, since it is the case that we already do have our little dish guy figured out, let's see if how fast we can add it. We already did it for the customer page. I'm hoping it won't be added. It'll be similar. We can just use the code that we already have. Fingers crossed, and it could be said, or it could be, yeah, it could be said that this is a case where you would not copy and paste and you would combine them into their own thing. That way it can do it on its own. But again, we're keeping this simple, and if I want to optimize it later, I will let future me do that. And you need to narrate yourself harder. Yeah. From here, we can see Eris grabbing the mouse, moving up towards the screen. Now she has to remember what she was doing before she started speaking, which she does not. Oh boy, we'll go ahead and click new book here. We can go ahead and make this its own page if we go ahead and modify this. So we can go into our customer right page. So customer right page here. Let's see, left page and right page. Customer right page. This is just about what we'll be doing, but instead of populating it with the dishes or the products, we're now doing, or hold on. Okay. For a second, I thought Future Me helped me again in the sense of, oh, we already did this code. No, we didn't. We're good. Oh my. Okay. So we can see here, this is for our flavor combinations. Instead, we need to make this page fit our dish combinations. And if I go ahead and click on this just so I can show you, as unfortunately I don't think we'll have enough time to do so, but let me tell you what will happen in the future, hopefully between now and the end of Sunday. Next up, what is on the to-do list? If I click on you here, if I click on you here and here, there we are. So we already have the baseline, we already have the base work of the idea of having everything unlocked and then selecting. All we have to do is just grab that code from page 2 and turn it instead of flavors into products. I say all we have to do, but it's gonna take a little bit of modification. Not too much, but just enough that it's gonna take it a second or two. But once we do that, then it's just a matter of linking the pages. So when we were selecting into this one, whatever Cocoa page it is, we go ahead and do that one, and then the next page, and flipping all of those guys. So that'll be fun. We got a lot more progress than I thought, and I need a Jarvis to help remind us some things. I I have a very long to-do list and a lot of timers set up for for when I need to do things and I forget. But then what happens is, once the timer ends, I then cancel the timer, thinking to myself, yeah, I'll get up in a second. And then I forget the thing that I set the timer for because the timer's passed. Oh boy, well, we'll go ahead and move you here. We'll then move me about to here, planning screen. And with that said, oh, hold on, wrong screen. Yeah, it's this screen here. We'll be continuing. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. If you have nothing to do, or maybe it's time zone differences, consider stopping by. We'll be making, well, actually, you know what? I can show you a bit of a teaser on what we'll be doing. And if you came here for programming, we'll be doing more of that on Sunday. So whatever I don't get finished between now and Sunday, we'll continue to do. But for tomorrow, the Valentine's Day special, what we will be doing is continuing making an asset pack. And, well, I like to call this an idea in the sense of it's not actually a thing, but it's the theme of if we were to make a game featured around Valentine's Day themed, and you had items you were able to gift to the main character or to the love interest, what items could you make? What items? How could we draw these items? My spouse has a lot of alarms, and if they silence it and don't do the right thing, then don't forget. Yeah, I just have to stop silencing. And coffee? A man after my own heart. I see, Chapel. Coffee is definitely a good gift. Let's see. I'll click on you here, dig fight force, finish video, where we at? Nope, we need to go to you here, stream material, where's the Valentine's Day? There's a specific folder I have for Valentine's Day. I found it. And then I click the final button. Yes, okay, I found it, here it is. This is what we did last year, and so we'll be hopefully adding 3 more icons if we can help it. Right now, what we did was we did a knife as a gift. Someone asked for garlic bread. That was a good gift, and then money. So these are the current 3 options you have to choose from for your gift. And you can see little Gilby there as well as the spider. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. Some sprite assets and work on adding it and adding a little shine to us. I do like the shine. Like, I want to see if we can add more shiny things. I don't know what we would do. With that said, then video games are good gifts. I see, Preston. Well, if you'd like to, Eris, is that knife a threat? No. Funny enough, it's not. What I did last year and what I did this year as well, the wink, wink, nudge, nudge, is if you're either on the YouTube or you're on Twitter or you're on Blue Sky, and I suppose, well, it's a little bit too late, but if you're on any of those, I asked around, what would you like for Valentine's Day and what would you give for Valentine's Day? So whatever comments we get will be the ideas we can choose from. Someone said that they would like a knife for Valentine's Day. Someone said that they would like garlic bread for Valentine's Day. And I was so disappointed no one said chocolate. I've got a lot of suggestions already. So, well, maybe we spin the wheel and see how things go. But that's an octopus. I just get the little Bobby plushie. Oh, that'd be so cute. With that said, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. If you're on YouTube side of things, that'll be it for me. We're going to go to the end screen. And then if you're on Twitch, we're going to come back from the end screen if you'd like to stick around for the raid. Well, I've tried to see about doing the raids on YouTube, but it's a little tricky to set up. So for now, we keep on doing the raids on Twitch's side of things. So again, I'm going to end and then come back and stick around if raid. Yes? Good. And thank you for the stream. Thanks for stopping by, chatting around, and doing some redeems as well. With all that said, I hope you all have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, or good night. If I don't see you tomorrow, I hope I see you on Sunday. Same time, same place. See you soon.